Yo, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Rush in the building, holding it down with the team, the Labudo Network. I got a lot of special guests for today, man. We gonna cover some things, but right now I'm gonna promote my side hustle, Rush Enterprise. If you're in the state of New Jersey, you need armed guards or unarmed guards, call up my business line or hit me up on the grams or shoot me an email. The bigger the contract, the more money we make together. Let's get this chicken together, you heard? Today we're gonna do a live reaction on the interview I did with Lucky Marie. I got my team over here, man. We gonna give y'all a male perspective on some of the things she expound on. And yeah, man. Yo, salute to you guys, man. Talk to me.
It's good, Rush.
Salute, brother.
Salute, man.
Glad to be here.
But Rush, before we jump into it, the first question I got for you, man, is the McRib back? Because they said you be at McDonald's and stuff. So,
Nah, man, it ain't back yet, man. Yo, yeah, man, I be getting a lot of that, man.
but now I just want to say before we jump into it, man, the reason because I was like, hey, Rush, man, I wanted to do like a breakdown on some of the points because I think I both have good perspectives. And one thing, man, I do like Lucky's content, man. I think she's I think it's big of her to come into like male spaces and give her perspective and stuff. That's got to be hard to do. So a lot of females won't even do that, man. And she's pretty balanced on certain things, man. So I wanted to like break down because she was right on some aspects, and you had some good points too. So I think that the people you brought together, man, we're gonna give some solid like perspectives on some of them different points, man. And you know, everybody's pretty balanced. I think you are too, Rush. Even you know, you got your own perspective, but you're open to having a conversation. And I say that Lucky is too. So I think y'all had a good conversation, and then you know, I think it's good for content creators to kind of expound on that. So that's kind of what we're doing today.
Question: what kind of content does she make? Because I never saw her channel.
She looks at various, I'll say like topics, kind of like how we do on, I'll say my channel and different channels, and she'll break it down. And she gives a lot of females pushback and stuff. So she's not like one of those, I'll say one-sided females where it's like, you know, the guys are wrong. Nah, if she sees some fuckery from like females, man, she gives a lot of pushback. So that's why I'm saying I think, you know, her and Rush having that like conversation, I think they are pretty balanced individuals.
Yeah, she gave Rush a lot of pushback.
Yeah, she was giving Rush that work.
So Rush, how you feel about that, bro? Getting all that pushback from her.
Yeah, like I think it's dope that she came on, my channel and she allowed me to interview her. And yo, just like like Jerk just said, man, like I feel the same way like Jerk. I mean, like I'm actually a fan of her work, man. I think she's a dope content creator, and like I wasn't even gonna do a reaction, but a lot of people hit me up about her reaction on the interview, and Jerk kind of told me like, "Yo, man, you should do a reaction." So I was like, "All right, I'll do a reaction on the actual interview." But overall, like I actually like Lucky. I mean. Yeah. And we're just gonna go over some of the because like she had a lot of questions on why we a lot of dudes may clown oh boy, what's his name, Russell or whatever, Wilson. And she doesn't understand why we going in. But yo, we're gonna play the actual interview and actually give our opinion on some of the things she had questions on, and some of the things she disagreed on what we were talking about. And I think this will probably help not only her but her audience too to get a perspective of of men from different walks of life. Like I'm a totally different man. Fame, comes from a different background. Jerk, Urban, and Wale, but I'm quite sure when we expound on this interview, on a reaction or whatever, like we are gonna pretty much have a similar understanding and agree on a lot of things once we start expounding on this reaction. Know what I mean?
All right.
I'm gonna pull up the vid now. Just give me a second, guys. Just keep chopping it up until everything come up.
So what are the questions that I think was asked, just from y'all perspective, man? Would y'all say like Russell Wilson is a simp? It's a yes for me.
So it's an absolutely yes for me.
Yeah, I think that wasn't Russell Wilson wouldn't be Ciara's first choice.
I mean, at this point, I just don't give a fuck. It's like you win or you lose at this point as a man. Like that's how I look at it right now. I don't give a fuck. Because if she treating him well, congratulations. If you end up being a fool, congratulations again. You just learned. I don't give a fuck no more. Like,
hey, gentlemen, I think it's fair for us to let the people know the reason why we say that Russell Wilson is a simp.
Absolutely.
Oh, y'all was waiting on me to give my perspective?
I'll wait for the video to play. But I
didn't know if we was gonna play the video first or go ahead and break it down.
But I think he's the simp because I don't think she really has genuine burning desire for him. I think she wouldn't have ever chose him as her first option. I think he's just a backup plan for her.
Mm-hmm.
See, for me,
yep.
I think you do got to allow a little bit of space for growth, because I do think, like, honestly, Ciara does regret that decision. And I do think people, like, for example, say, like, if I dated a chick that was considered a bad girl, bad experience, and I'm like, fuck that, never again, and I moved on. That don't mean, like, any female that comes after that is not my type of female because I had the bad experience with that type of female before. So I do think people could change. But what I would say is, like, I would call Russell Wilson a simp is because, you know, for Ciara to kind of get with a guy that already had like 3 baby moms and you're going to be the 4th one. And then, you know, he's a kind of a guy that don't take like family serious. He's a kind of a clown. So even I sent Rush a clip where, you know, Future, he's in an interview and they bring up a question like, did Ciara ever make you wait like she did Russell Wilson? And he was like, oh, hell nah. You know, I never waited. I got them draws pretty much ASAP. Mm-hmm. So I think females don't understand. It's just like, when we're looking at this as guys, it's like, when you attach yourself to a guy that's out there and that's vocal and his whole job in his mindset is just to humiliate you and whoever you're with, that's where I'm coming from the perspective of like, yeah, he's a simp. Because I would never attach myself to any female that attached herself to a clown like that. That's always vocal and shit like that. So I think that's the biggest perspective why I would say he's a simp. Because, yeah, if a female latched on to a dude, like I said, that had like 3 baby moms already, yeah, fuck that. I can't do it. Because it just shows something about your mindset, the way you think and shit. And not to say people make mistakes, but you shouldn't be gravitating to that type of major mistake.
That goes with the genuine desire. That's why she didn't make Future wait. And she made Russell Wilson wait because she really doesn't have genuine desire for him. And I understand what you said, the mistake, but Ciara made a couple mistakes. It wasn't just one. She was with 50. She was with Bow Wow and a couple others before she went to Russell.
But because Lucky in the video, she had a good point, though, man, because everybody has somewhat of a background. And, you know, if you're a celebrity, it's going to play out in the open.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So it's just like, I'm not going to gig any female for having a background, because once you hit a certain age, like, we all got some experiences. So I ain't expecting purity at that point. But when you just hone in on the Future one, I mean, you moved with no intention. You aligned with a guy, like I said, that 3 other baby moms. Didn't really take care of none of them, like the interactions. And so you're the 4th now. So it's just like with Russell, they all have options. So it's not even with Ciara. It's like, she's a very pretty female, man. Keep herself in shape. So it's like, you didn't have to align with that, because it's not even like you're a broke chick. You got money. You're a celebrity on your own. So it's not like you were starstruck. So that's what I'm saying. It shows like a level of your mindset and how you think. So because I could understand like a broke chick that was like, hey, there's Future. I'm starstruck. But she's a celebrity on her own right. So that's what I'm saying. It's just like, nah, that's some bad thinking. So a guy that would align like that has like $100 billion, is an NFL champion. Yeah, something ain't right with him either. So he pretty much moved off of desire and lust. He wasn't operating off of like attention, vetting her background or anything. So that's the major issue.
Yeah, and to
My
play
bad,
devil's
y'all, I'm rambling.
advocate, I think Lucky did have a point with that when she said that Ciara's in the public eye, because I think it kind of sucks for women that's like, you know, got a little fame, because their business and everybody they sleep with in a relationship is put out there. So I think that sucks for them, because they're going to be judged harder than the average girl that probably doing worse than them, but you don't see it.
Yeah, I say this. I say the reason why Russell Wilson is a simp is simply because since he's a man of status, he have a lot of choices out there. I mean, a lot of choices out there. This dude literally have different women thrown at him every single day, every single game he play, every interview that he do. But he decided to choose Ciara, a baby mama, with Future. If that's not simp activity, then I don't know what is. So you mean to tell me that this dude, out of all the choices out there that he had, that Ciara was his best option? To me, right. I believe that, and this is just my opinion, I believe that Russell seen her, right? And he seen her as an opportunity that he could change her. He could mold her into the woman that he need her to be. And so therefore, he took upon that opportunity to do that. And on top of that, right, he decided to be a step crash dummy to prove to not only Ciara, but to Future as well, too, that he could be a better father than him. If that's not simp activity, gentlemen, then I don't know what it is.
Urban, I agree, and I say that all the time. These athletes and these rappers and everything, they got status, they got money, and they all choose the same woman.
Mm-hmm. Russell, he could have chose a woman with no children.
Yeah,
he had the opportunity, but he didn't.
And I think a lot of times, because I know like some of the rebuttal with females is like, well, you know, so-and-so got money and stuff like that. And that's fine. He's got money and stuff. He's put himself in this caliber. But, you know, when you get with somebody that aligned with a guy like that, you're going to face some type of humiliation, because those type of dudes don't know how to shut their mouth. They can't move on. They're like in self-destruct mode. So like if you're a guy that got like some critical thinking skills, you got some standards and stuff, and you could spot, like, say, like, if I was like on a date with Ciara and we started talking about her past, and she was like, hey, yeah, I got a baby by Future, I'm up out of there. And it's not because like I'm belittling her. It's just because, man, I know that prototype of a guy that's just, you know, just on a crash course himself, and he's going to do anything to like make her life miserable. So I think females sometimes they don't understand that when guys are like, yeah, fuck Future. Like, if you align with that, I ain't messing with that, because I ain't trying to deal with all that, like, drama and baggage that he's going to bring. And I think that's one of the major issues and stuff. So I think sometimes when females want to shut down these conversations, it's like, nah, let's have the conversation, because, you know, if we want to school the youth and we want to have growth, especially in our communities and stuff, it's just like, man, we need to have these tough conversations and let people know, like, hey, if you align with certain individuals, you know, it could prevent you from getting with certain guys, because everybody ain't going to go and be starstruck. Every guy ain't like that. So, I mean, that's why I like the conversations. That's why I wanted to have this, where it's just like, nah, it's not lame to sit there and talk about, you know, various situations and stuff, because this is how we can learn. What they say, wise people learn from other people's mistakes. So, hell, I'm gonna sit out here, I'm going to talk about it. I got a son that's 24, so I'm going to use any tool I can to make sure that he could learn from all these situations and he don't go down these paths. Because one of the things I told him about this whole situation, I was like, hey, you see what happened to Russell? You align with the wrong person and they got a bad past. That shit could come back and, you know, haunt your image. And even in the Bible, it says, man, you protect your image with everything. So your image is like your currency. Fuck that. You don't align with anybody that got a sketcher past like that. That could blow up in your face. My bad, y'all.
So also, well, what you described earlier is called a red herring fallacy, where you try to have these type of conversations, they'll immediately try to dismiss it, telling you that you shouldn't have that, you shouldn't worry about this, you shouldn't do that. I beg to differ, because it's our opinion, because opinion formulate our society, correct? So however way we see things, we should have every right to speak about it, whether you agree with it or disagree with it. You know what I'm saying? But even when I have these type of tough conversations with, you know, women or modern women, even with some of the men out there too, some of them, they'll resort to their red herring fallacy where they tell me, well, I don't really talk about it, or you seem lame for talking about it. No, it's not lame at all. I believe, just like you stated, Sophisticated, it's a great opportunity for us to discuss this, because look, we have to discuss these things for our future generation, especially us being men, and we have children raising up, boys and girls raising up. They need to understand the different dynamics that happen in the relationships, so we could teach them to navigate within these said relationships.
Great point, Urban. And just because I think out of what people don't understand, man, out of these celebrity stories, because the reason why we talk about them is because everybody kind of knows them. So if I was like, hey, man, George on my block, and I brought up a situation, they'd be like, who the fuck is George? You know, because you just ain't going to know him. So that's why we kind of use celebrity stories. But even with like the Ciara and Russell, there's like 3 or 4 stories embedded with this story. Because just even think about like the clip I sent you, Rush, and you ain't got to play it, but it's just like when Future's talking about Ciara like this, they got kids with each other. So this is why you want to be selective with who you marry, because your kids is going to be on this internet eventually. Their schoolmates is going to be on this internet. So what happened if them kids come up to like their kids and like, damn, man, Future, he said he done waxed your mom easily and stuff. You know how kids are going to tease, man. I was guilty of it when we was growing up. So this is why, man, like we got to have these conversations to show people like, man, you do got to maneuver differently. And especially if you a celebrity, it's just like, man, your shit is like magnified 10 times, multiplied 10 times. So it's just like, man, you can't escape certain things. And when you start having kids, man, they got to deal with the repercussions of your decisions. So yeah, this is why this is important. So like one of the storylines in this is like piece of shit like Future, void him, because he's, you know, he's making all these families, he's tearing up like these different households. Then like with Russell, it's just like, hey man, if you built yourself up, you put that time in, man, you don't have to go and just select anybody. Then even with Ciara, it's like, Ciara, you had your stuff together. You had a good foundation. So yeah, women, make sure, you know, you select properly also, because when a guy, he's salty or something like that and he don't know how to go away, he's gonna like make your life miserable. So that's why I'm saying it's like multiple stories we could learn from. So I like what you were saying, Urban, because it's like if I had a daughter, I'll be showing this story to her like, hey man, see how she's like, she put herself in a different trajectory, did the right things, but since she was made that mistake with that idiot, it's coming back to haunt her, you know?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to redirect to what you were saying earlier too, Sophisticated, when you're saying that people do have the opportunity to change and be better. Now, I believe all of us on this panel do agree that a person do have the opportunity to change, to do something better with their life. You know what I'm saying? But however, we do have to understand that with every decision that we make, it's a cause and effect. There are consequences behind the decisions and choices that you make. So with that being said, certain choices and decisions that you make, it'll automatically disqualify you from other opportunities. Like, case in point, if you are a person or a man or a woman who becomes a convicted felon, right? Guess what? You made that choice and decision to do that, but however, you're not going to qualify for future opportunities due to the decisions that you have made. It's the same dynamics in relationships too. If you make certain choices, decisions, like say for example, that you decide to be a baby daddy or a baby mama or whatever the case may be, right? You may qualify for certain situations, but other situations you absolutely do not qualify. Hence with Ciara, since she made a decision to hook up with Future and become that baby mama in the future, what should have happened is that she should have been disqualified from a man like Russel Wilson. Hence the reason why we calling him a simp is because in his mindset, she should have been an automatic disqualification right in and there simply because she's a baby mama. Simply because he don't have no children, but she do. You know what I'm saying? So what he should have did was go after women who was single like him without no children, period. I honestly believe that if you do have children, that you should link together with other people who are similar with you, what you qualify for, period. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that a single man should date a woman with children. I don't believe a single woman should date a man with children. Period.
Okay. Now I'm
I
glad
agree
you
with
made
you,
that
Urban.
distinction because I think that's one of the things. Like sometimes females do give pushback because when they hear like it just be flat, where it's like you should have messed with
Yeah.
a woman with kids and stuff. It's like no, I'm like you. I'm like because me personally, like I have a son. Say me and my wife would have divorced. I would have looked for a woman that had kids because, like you said, I wouldn't want to align with somebody that didn't have no kids because first of all I wasn't going to have any more but
Yeah.
they might not understand all the nuances that come with that, so I agree with you and I'm glad you made that statement.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm speaking from experience as well too. Rush kind of know my background because I talk about it all the time on my channel. I share with people that I was married before divorce and now married again. Now, during my younger age, I had made the mistake of being married for 11 years with a single mother. I was single. I didn't have no children at the time, but she was a single mother with children. And I made the mistake of being married to this woman for 11 years. So I spent 11 years, gentlemen, trying to make this work. And it would not work at all, period. You know what I'm saying? So I learned a lot from that experience. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm advocating to let other people know, like, hey, it's better for you to date like-minded people. You know what I'm saying? Even in a situation, it's better for you to do that. Now, when I became divorced and we eventually had children together, guess what happened? When I entered back into the dating market, right, guess who I was looking for? I was looking for women who had children. I didn't go after the single woman. The only time that I possibly went after single woman is just to have fun with her, to be dead serious with her, to be dead honest. That's a smash and pass. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Didn't look for no relationship, even though some of them wanted relationship with me. But I'm like, no, I got children. You don't have children. You're not going to relate. And I'm not going to even put you in that situation for you to relate to the situation that I got going on. And on top of that, I think ahead of things. I think about, what if she want me to do different things for her and I can't do it because I'm obligated to take care of my children? Like she want to go out on a trip and this is the week that I have my children and she feels some type of way about that. You know what I'm saying? So conflict, happening between that. So that's why to solve all that problem, I'm not going to date you like that. We're not going to have a relationship other than what it's going to be.
I totally
What would
agree.
you what would you say was some of the biggest hardships when you coming in there as a single man? Because I think, man, this is the part where people need to kind of be focusing on. Because I would just say, like, me having my own kid, and I was one of my female coworkers. She was about to date a guy with some kids, and they were getting serious. And I was like, hey, man, I was like, don't do it. I gave her the information. I was like, don't do it. I was like, ain't got no kids, man. Like, and I was telling her, I was like, hey, raising my own son, when kids start hitting junior high and high school, they're moody. And I was like, look, I had to beat my son down a couple of times because he was feeling himself. And I'm like, I couldn't imagine being like a stepfather when he was going through that phase because I would never put my hands on somebody else's kid. But I'd be like damn defenseless. I didn't even want to deal with my own son when he was moody like that. So I'm like, I could just imagine if I was a stepdaddy in that situation, in that type of, I would have left at that point just to keep it a real. Because I think when you're an actual parent, man, you have that deeper commitment. You have that responsibility. But if I would have been just like in a step role when he went through that phase, I would have been out them doors. I kid you not. And that's why I was telling her. I was like, hey, man, it's hard enough being an actual parent when they go to that moody phase. So what were some of them hardships you dealt with?
So there are several hardships that I dealt with. The first one that you mentioned earlier is by being the disciplinary. Now, at that time, she allowed me to discipline to a certain extent to how the way she wanted it to be, not how the way I saw it to be. You know what I'm saying? So we had a conflict in that. We had also a conflict that the one dude's father was still around, you know what I'm saying? And she low-key still had feelings for this dude, which I learned later on down the line.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we had conflict in that. We had conflict in the dynamics of family as well too. When you normally when women become single mothers, right, they lose that structure, you know what I'm saying? That structure, how the way it's supposed to be in the family, and where the woman believes that she's the head, she's the leader, instead of surrendering that and allowing the man to lead. So we was having that situation going on too. Then on top of that, as you was also mentioned, the child attitude behind you. You know what I'm saying? So this child already, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, gentlemen. Children want their actual biological parents to be together, period. Nowhere around it. So with that being said, her child wanted his daddy to be around him all the time. So therefore, he always had a certain type of resentment against me because I'm not his father. You know what I'm saying? So there was another one challenge that I had to deal with in that relationship. You know, there are other stuff as well too, but you know, that's neither here nor there.
Okay. Do you think like if you come in and say like if the dad's all the way out the picture and you come in when the kid's like a baby, that'd be totally different if you're coming in where the kid like has that understanding like, hey, I got my actual father. And like you said, they had that resentment. Do you think it's like that would be a totally different dynamic?
I think that'd be kind of worse, Dirk.
Yeah, to be honest with you, because they're still growing and developing, you know what I'm saying? But a child is always going to be attached to their biological parents, period. You know what I'm saying? No matter, there ain't no way around it. They're going to be attached to them one way or the other. Even let's say hypothetically speaking that the dude was a deadbeat father. He never met his father a day before his life. Then eventually his mom started, you know, educating him about that. Like, hey, this is not your real father. This is your actual father right here. Guess what's going to happen? That child going to start thinking about that. He's going to start developing that. He's going to start wondering, well, where's my daddy at? Why is he not in my household? And guess what? Eventually that child is going to start resembling behavior patterns. You know what I'm saying? Where at the end of the day, he wants to be attached to his biological parent, both mother and father. So he's going to start lashing out on the stepfather. Eventually, the child going to get older and become an adult. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to seek out and try to find their parent to figure out why did their parent abandon them. Yeah, that's normally how it happens, bro. Every single time.
Yeah, and I
behavior
think
doesn't change, bro.
Yeah, sophisticated jerk. I think it's kind of worse when the child is young, like a newborn or something, because there's still a lot of emotions with her and the baby father at that point, because she just had the kid and everything. So she basically still in a relationship with him. So I think it's worse when they're younger. The child is younger.
Oh, okay. I thought it would be like a little easier. So
yeah. You just mentioned something too, bro. You mentioned this is that they're going to be in a relationship. That's another thing that you have to understand is that even though that you're not in a physical relationship with each other or intimate relationship with each other, you're going to be in a co-parent relationship with each other for the rest of your life, period. So you have to deal with that dynamic too.
Oh, okay. I think them type of dynamics you were talking about, urban and famous. Yeah, I think that's some of the stuff that people need to understand because, you know, I get it, man. Like we didn't hear a lot of these conversations. I say like growing up, and I know one of the things we always say is like, hey, man, we didn't know, and I think that's the importance of like having these conversations and getting people to like you, urban, that's been in that dynamic and stuff. Because hey, it gives you levels to stuff, because even you still might want to go down that path, but at least you have that understanding going in there. Like, hey, if I commit to somebody, I understand. I think a lot of time people just jump into stuff based off of emotions and they don't have that understanding.
Facts. I agree. Typically what we do as men, we always go into relationship based on, first of all, how that woman look and how the way that woman treats us. Okay. So say for example, you go on a date and this woman is being wonderful to you. She's being, nice. She's being submissive to you. And she's doing that because she's selling herself to you. You know what I mean? And so you get into that relationship with her, and that's thing, she starts changing that dynamics. You know what I'm saying? Where now I done got you, so now you're going to see the real me. Hence, that's why all these relationship problems start happening. Is that it's that old saying, you only meet the representative of that person, but when you get to really know that person, especially if you start living with that person, that's when you start knowing the real them for real. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, facts. Let me ask one more question, man. I'm sorry, Rush. I know Rush got the video up. We having a good dialogue though. No, I think, man, this is a good conversation. But So Urban, like, how did the finances work in that situation?
I keep cooking, y'all. Keep cooking.
Man. The finances. The finances is also was an issue in a relationship. During that time, I got married to her when I was 23 years old. All right. So during that time, I wasn't making more money than her. She was making more money than me. She was already established because she was a single mother. She was, matter of fact, she was working in the mortgage industry. I believe she was a loan processor, so she was already making a salary plus an additional salary for whatever loan she closed out or so. So she was already making almost like double amount of what I was making during that time. So finances, it was not good at all. You know what I'm saying? Where I tried my very best to try to meet her where she was at, but at that time it was impossible for me to meet her where I was at due to where I was at. You know what I'm saying, during my age. I was I believe I was still going to college at that time too. Going to college and also working, that's a normal job. Not no job that's gonna take care of the family, but that's a normal job to bring some type of income in. She had a problem with that. She wanted me to do more. She wanted me to work 2 jobs while I going to school and everything. But her ultimate goal was that she wanted to contribute her money less and make me contribute my money more to the household, to eventually where I be the sole breadwinner of that household, and she could just do whatever she want to do with her money. That's where it boiled down to.
Damn, even though she had her kid and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
God.
But that's how the way she was being brought up. That's how the way she was taught. Now, I can hold myself accountable for that because at the end of the day, I did choose to be with that woman. Absolutely.
Okay. Now, good stuff. Now, shout out to Urban, man. I appreciate you breaking out the experience because, a lot of times I think people, I think that was one of Lucky's points, man. People go off of assumptions and stuff. But one of the things I would say to that is just like, because I think she was making a statement of like how people are talking about stuff they don't maybe have experience, which could be true. But I think a lot of guys like you, Urban, because I have an uncle, he was a stepdad, and he used to line us all up. He's like, hey, don't do this, because he used to break it down. So I think a lot of guys that stepped into the roles are speaking out. So I think, women might not hear the locker room talk, but that's what's kind of going down where men are like, hey, man, there's all these dynamics. Like, I can't stop you from like doing what you want to do, but here's the information.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the reason why I could appreciate manosphere content. I can also appreciate red pill content as well too, or man empowerment content, because we're literally having that locker room talk. Even if you agree with it or not, this is literally how we talk all the time. The only difference is that we just got a podcast mic and we're doing it online. But back in the past, we be chilling either at work in the break room talking about this. We be working out in the gym talking about this. We be out lounges or clubs talking about this. You know what I'm saying?
No, fair.
Yeah, I think a lot of women are mad at that too, because never before in history that we had a platform we could share with men around the world the same information, and we figured out that we all going through the same stuff.
Facts. And here's another dynamic too that Rush, he started the video. He's like, gentlemen, please let me start the video. But here's something interesting too, is that when we be having these conversations with each other as men, we literally be learning from each other because we want the best from each other. You know what I'm saying? We want us to be our absolute best. But unfortunately, when they're dealing with women, when they be having these conversations, right, they don't be having these conversations so they can help each other out. They literally be having these conversations so they can one-up each other. Yeah. Because deep down inside, women do not like other women because they be competing for each other. But for us, we don't compete like that. You know what I'm saying? Not in the way how the way they are. When we compete for, status, social status, to be, you know what I'm saying, to have a position in society or even have a position in our family structure, however way they look like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, men compete overtly, women compete covertly. So they secretly in competition with each other and don't know it. That's why they say single women keep women single.
Facts.
Matter of fact, yo, there's a book out there that break down the science on never to date a woman that's low key being competitive towards you because she'll always sabotage your success. It's a dope book. It's called sheep Wolves in Sheep's Clothing. It's a dope book. But yeah, man, never wife up a chick that's real competitive, man, because at the long haul, man, it's not gonna work out. She's gonna sabotage the relationship and your success.
And she's probably masculine as hell too.
Facts.
All right, Rush, we let you get to the video.
I'm gonna play the clip now. All right, hold on, guys.
Lucky look like she ready to cook.
No, she man, she's one of the like I said, her and Lola that's in the chat. Man, I like talking like to Lola, man, because Lola could break down things from different perspectives, and I think Lucky is too.
No.
So
if
she'll
they were
come up
in
there
their
and have her
spot, they would
opinion.
have something that we would all judge. I wouldn't be with her. I wouldn't be. Yeah, the truth is, when people have money to be comfortable, they go pick the type of person that makes them happy or that they want to be happy with or that they see. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, I think a lot of men do that. It's easy to judge when you don't have the opportunity.
Yo, there'll be a lot of give you some pushback on that. The reason why most dudes will say Russell is a simp is because, not only he wasn't the first candidate that she wanted, but he's
Most
playing
people
cleanup.
Most men are not the first candidate. So I don't even know, unless you're about to get a woman fresh off the bone of high school and then hope that she's cool. And unless that's short, your key, how are we sitting up here talking, oh, you a simp because you came after somebody? Everybody came after somebody if she's not a virgin. If you marry a woman who was married before, you came after him. You don't know what he was doing on her face. So only lames start to entertain other people's relationship to the point where they're like, oh, I wouldn't do it. And it's like, well, let me see your relationship that you're happy with. Let's see your bride. It get quiet.
Can you hit pause real quick, Rush?
Let me revise that statement I just made. Like the reason why
she was kind of right there. See, that's why I think we got to be concise, man. Because I like what Urban, where he started us off like, hey, man, we owe an explanation why we said he's a simp. And he's correct. But I think, man, because with the case you was making, Rush, where it's like, he was the follow-on. Most people at a certain age are going to have background in the past. So I think more or less it should be focused on the quality of those guys. That's where I would focus on. Because, yeah, if your head's dead set on, like, I don't want a chick that has, like, no baggage, you probably should have got somebody when you was like in your high school sweetheart, early 20s, because you moving past that and you're being picky or you're messing around as a guy. Then you kind of lost out on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we do got to give pushback as men. Like, hey, if that's something that's so critical to you, you better make that selection early. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't have it both ways,
Wait a minute.
Yeah. The reason why, let me just say this. The reason why I'm heavy on that is because most chicks, like Lucky and her followers or whatever, like they think it's supposed to be okay for a dude to play the cleanup. And yo, I agree with you. Like, yo, if you're a dude like me that got a state of mind like me, yeah, it's best for you to try to find a decent candidate in their earlier years. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be in a place that's imbalanced where you're old head with success and then you seeking for that younger chick. It always never pans out. Now I mean, it just ends up being a tricking situation. Now I mean, but me as a man, like I accept the choices that I made, and I'm completely comfortable never, ever, ever wifing up these birds out here, man. Cause they suck and freeze the campaign, you heard?
And I don't think it's necessarily being the cleanup that's the problem. It's the problem that I think that Rush, she doesn't have genuine desire for Rush, and she wouldn't have chose Rush ever if it wasn't for that. I think she would have still chose Future over Russ. If she had an option to choose Future, she wanted to change Future to be Russ. But I don't think she genuinely want Russell Wilson.
So real quick, because right in that video when she said like what Lucky said exactly, because I know she said like, oh, you know, if a woman already have the past and everything else, like you're already not going to be the first choice anyways, regardless of one way or the other. But the thing is, in the moment between, because it was like the last few choices that Ciara had was literally Future and Russell, right? So in that moment, she was sort of going back and forth. So technically, he wasn't, as far as them two, he wasn't the first choice. So, I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, the point is like, because a lot of times, like being on panels and stuff, men would be like, "Hey, I had a good one, but I was playing around and stuff." So there's some accountability on like both sides, but it's just like, man, the longer you wait, as far as like age, you're gonna be dealing with baggage. That's all I'm saying. It's just like, so what we got to tell men is like, hey, man, if it's so critical for you, you want to follow up behind too many guys, then you got to lock in early. Because if not, man, people are going to be dating. They're going to have experiences. So, you know, that's all I'm saying. You can't have it both ways. You're going to come behind somebody. But the way to get around that, though, is just like, you got to get somebody that actually likes you. So I see what like Famous is saying. You don't want to be the secondary guy. So you got to make sure that person is actually into you. They willing to kind of invest in you. So that's how you kind of get around all that. Now, if they come in there and they're like, hey, now you got to do A, B, C, D because they feel like they settling. Yeah, you don't want to mess with that. But if somebody's like, nah, I really want to work with this guy, I'm willing to grow with him, build with him, then yeah, that's how you could kind of tell she's actually into you.
Yeah,
but that's like when you start hitting late 30s and 40s, we all done been around the block. All that whole, they ain't got too much baggage. Yeah, good luck. You're going to have to go to like a whole new universe to get some Captain Kirk type chicks out there if you were so...
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, that's what I was saying. It's mostly about the genuine desire. That's what it's mostly about. Not really her having the past. Like you being the safe choice, her making you the safe choice instead of her having genuine desire for you. That's why I think it's a problem with Russell Wilson. I don't think she genuinely have burning desire for him. I think he's the safe option.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing too, bro. Is that I believe that she didn't have the desire for him. I believe that she see him as an opportunity more than anything to get the desires that she want out of life. You know what I'm saying? Let's look back at her track record, right? She dated Bow Wow, she dated Future, she dated 50, right? Yeah, all these gentlemen have in common is their status, their financial status and their social status. She didn't go after the average men, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The reason why she do that is because she know that these men is not going to benefit her at all, period. She only have to be the one who's going to have to carry out with these average men, you know what I'm saying? So when she see a person like Russell Wilson, she's benefited from that. So she don't have to technically love this dude in order to benefit from him. You know what I'm saying? All she got to do is lock him in. The best way how women lock men in is to do what? Get them pregnant. Get pregnant and have children. Once you get pregnant and have children, you locked in for life. And they know that. And that's part of their hypergamous ways.
Yeah, and I think that's most women's game plan too, to have relations with the guys relations with the guys they actually want, and then at the end when they're done, then they find a relationship with the safe guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They go out and have their little, fun time. Let's keep it real, gentlemen. We do the same as that thing where, one point in time, we just want to chill and just have fun, conquer coochie as much as we can. Then we finally get around to, maybe I need to find that one that's the chill, to settle down, and we do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it's like, man, things are just so out of order. So I think it's like kind of like on both sides and stuff. Because y'all right as far as like how some females play the game, but I think if we have that much concern, that's where we got to start telling the youth, like, man, you got a good girl early in age and she's exhibiting the right traits, man. She treats you right. You better lock that down, So that's what I kind of communicate to my son. I'm like, hey, don't try to overplay the field and try to do too much and you miss out on a good chick because you start getting up there in age, man. You can't. people gonna have a lot of experiences and stuff.
Yeah,
But
and that's
go ahead, Urban.
and that's where status come into play, bro. What we need to be teaching our sons is that when you out there, doing your thing, you need to be focusing on yourself. Matter of fact, this is what Stoicism teaches, you know what I'm saying, where you need to be focused on yourself first. Your number one priority is yourself first. Building yourself up to the status that you want to be at, not what people want you to be, but what you want to be at. You know, some people want to be at a middle class status. If that's your status you want to be at, fine, nothing wrong with that. If you want to be on a higher status than that, fine, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But you have to build yourself up to that status. So it don't matter your age. It don't matter if you 40, 50, 60, 70, whatever. As long as you at that certain status, any woman is going to qualify for you. You know what I'm saying? As long as you use that wisdom, like I was telling y'all earlier, is that you use that wisdom to choose properly the woman that's going to benefit you, not because she look good or she do certain thing, but she benefit for what you done work for. If that makes sense, Jimmy.
Yeah. Oh, all right, Rush.
I'm keep playing the clip. Give me a second, guys.
Rush is always like the weatherman with the clips.
Rush got FUBU wireless.
Dudes is calling old boy is simp is because everybody knows that Ciara, if Future were to be like, yo, let's link up and I mean do the nasty, it's gonna go down. I mean,
How do you know that though? How do you know that? So we're gonna assume that she never had the opportunity. Are we assuming that Ciara is the one chasing a Future and he just doesn't want her anymore? It's quite possible that you can break up. You can have a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship like they did, and it moves on. He's the one who doesn't want to see us with all the drama. We don't know them, but to just assume she's chasing him, it just made me think: do these men have a crush on Future? Like, how do they place Future where he's just this man? And I just know all the women going. It's like, if you was a woman, are you going? Like, why does it matter? Like, be with who makes you happy. Why do we care what other people have to say? If they're building stuff together, she's not out here cheating on him. She's not out here embarrassing him. She's doing what he allows. It doesn't matter what other men who are not on his level think of him. It's about what she thinks and vice versa. It ain't stopping no bags. And most of these people don't support him financially. They can't even afford to go to his game if he go to have one. So why does it even matter? What you think?
I mean, listen, man, I'm just saying, you brought up Russell, so I'm just, engaging in what you're talking about.
That was example, but I'm engaging too. Yeah. I want to know because you're saying people, so you must be around all these people that sit up and say Russell's this way. So I just kind of want to know: are these people in success?
No, I mean, it's not something that dudes indulge on. I mean, like, it might be a topic real quick. Yo, fam, what up? What up? Sophisticated Jerk was popping. We might talk about it and then be like,
yeah, you can pause right there anyways.
We on to the next conversation, but
so real quick, I think those type of arguments, like I know we talked about it early on in a conversation where it's just like the conversation needs to be had. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why a lot of people bring up Russell Simmons is because of Future. Because he'll come out here and say some shit. He'll throw a shot. So that's why it brings it back into the cycle. And that's why people start talking about it. Because like I said, that clip I sent Rush where Future's like talking about she didn't make him wait. He would never wait like Russell did. So it's Future. And that's the whole point of all this is like, nah, she is kind of embarrassing him. Not directly, but who she aligned with is coming back to haunt him. So that's why people are like, nah, don't mess with a chick that mess with a dude like Future, especially if it's like public like this, because it is going to land on you somehow. So when guys are talking about it, even though like, because she made the point where like Ciara probably wouldn't look at a lot of y'all. Maybe she wouldn't, but still, we can still talk about the prototype of that situation and apply it to other places. So it's like, even though it might be Ciara, nobody's gonna come across her. Like, if we got with a female that had those kind of behaviors and aligned with somebody like that, by us discussing this, some guys could be like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and avoid this situation because yeah, she aligned with a dude that has these like bad traits, and he's kind of emotional, so he might never want to leave and be throwing shots and shit. So that's why we have these discussions and we're focusing on these situations.
Yeah, and to teach young men, don't be the safe choice.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I mean, Lucky was making some very disingenuous claims, man. Let us call it for what it is. The type of claims that she's making is the typical claim that modern women say all the time whenever men talk about, the Russell Wilsons that are out there, or the type of men that they low-key desire but don't desire at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why is because these type of modern women, they want a yes man.
Yeah.
They want a Russell Wilson. They want a yes man. They want the modern day simp, simply so they could get whatever opportunity that could get out of them, use and abuse these dudes and keep moving on. And guess what happened to these modern simps or these modern yes men? They end up going into these areas of becoming like incels or different things like that because they got hurt because of these said type of women, because they send up her champion saying that, yeah, we're looking for you, we want you, we desire you, you should mind your business, And they are, I agree with you, my beautiful, wonderful queen. Yeah. And then they get with them and use them. You know what I'm saying? So the argument is very disingenuous. That's why I was telling y'all earlier that according to like debates and stuff, right, it's called a red herring fallacy, simply because she's trying to dismiss the overall claim what Russ was saying about Russell Wilson, to make it seem like what he was saying was wrong or bad. It's the dude's opinion. It's our opinion how the way we feel about him. You know what I mean? And here's another thing too. And now I'll finish with this, gentlemen. Women be looking at shows. They look at shows like Desperate Housewife. They go out to movies. They go to games, whatever the case may be. And guess what they do? They make opinions. They judge based on how the way they're feeling in that moment. So if they are able to do that in that moment, how in the hell are we not able to judge Russell Wilson and how the way we see him in the situation with Ciara?
Yep. I think, and everybody judges. Judging is natural. Everybody judges, and that's why I say don't never date those chicks that watch baddies and loving hip hop and all that stuff. It warps their mind.
Exactly.
And I was saying, that's why sucker frees the brand. Urban. I be telling, I be preaching all the time. These ladies, they want the simp. They want the best of both worlds. They want the simp at home that allows them to do whatever they want to do, so they can have the guy they really want on the side. That's why they date simps and they go for those guys.
Yeah. And I think one of the things, man, a lot of guys are starting to give pushback to other guys, where I think when women, they should have tried to shut down all the conversations, is because like in a indirect way, kind of what Lucky was pitching, man, is like for men to kind of be superficial. And I would rather see a guy, I'm going to give a guy props if he's I'd rather see him with an average of a 5.
Yeah.
Where he's respected. They got a good foundation, man. They raising their kids right, than a guy that just has a bad chick and she's treating them like shit. Because I got a couple friends that's in my real personal life that they're so superficial, man. They got some bad chicks, and I'm like breaking stuff down to them. I'm like, man, why are y'all selecting these type of females that are telling you what they're not gonna do? They're disrespecting you, bad backgrounds and shit. I was like, man, there's good women out here that got good mindsets that will be working with you. So I think, it's kind of contradictory sometimes, where it's just like you were saying, Urban, they're making y'all can't get a Ciara anyways. It's like, yeah, that's fine. I'll be willing to walk from that. I'm cool with getting a 5. You know what I'm saying? If she got the right attributes, characteristics and stuff. And I think more men need to be like that, because, man, we see so many stories. We were doing one yesterday on Rush's channel where like the Michigan coach operating off of lust. Diddy's whole documentary is just like a lust fest. Dude's just going after like pretty women that just using him. He's taking advantage of them, so it's just like these guys have all these money, but there's something off in the head and shit, and then beautiful women might not be in it for the right reasons. So it's just like, nah, man, I think people need to stop being so superficial, materialistic, and get with people with the characteristics and shit. So that's the message we should be pushing versus like we taking a shot at Ciara and them. Oh well, like they don't have to be celebrities. Don't do shit that where your information is gonna be out there in the public and nobody would analyze it. How many lives y'all see of like Denzel Washington? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He maneuver good, so they don't get no smoke.
Hey,
Yeah.
Here's another disingenuous thing she said about that. You just remind me about sophistication. She said as well, men won't be able to get a woman like Ciara. I would argue to say that if Ciara wasn't on the status how she is now, and she was just an average woman, guess what? She'll be going after the normal average dudes. Let's keep it real. The only thing that's keeping her from doing that is because of her status. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
But like, because that's a good point, Urban. But like,
let me just say this real quick. Yo, beauty is not eye of a beholder. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I think from a social construct, her physical features may be considered the attractive female, similar to like the Eurocentric type phenotype everybody expect the world to look at. That's the standard beauty. I mean, there's many different varieties of beauty. You know what I mean? Whether she's kind of chunky, slim, super skinny, like they all possess a level of beauty. You know what I mean? And some certain dudes may be attracted to a super skinny chick or super chunky chick. You know what I mean? It's all on a dude. You know what I mean? Like, the whole world is not going to consider Ciara as an attractive female. Know what I mean? That's just within our social construct to project that she's a dime piece, quote unquote. Know what I mean?
Nah, Russ, you wildin'. Ciara look good. don't get it fucked up. Like she an attractive female. I don't give a damn. Like if you don't think she attractive, there's something wrong with them dudes.
I ain't say she wasn't attractive. I'm just saying like. Let me just say it like this. Yeah, she may look attractive to certain dudes, but some certain dudes may not find her like to have a certain level of sex appeal. So they might say she look alright, but it's just that that's not the type of chick they'll link up and probably even use as a cum dumpster. That's what I'm just saying. I
got you. No, but I
think true attraction comes from the mentality, though. I think it comes from the mindset. True attraction, not just the outer beauty.
But like he did have a point, because like a lot of guys, even though they say certain things, if Ciara slid on them, they definitely going. But I think even then, we still should be pushing. I think, because I know all of us on this panel, we said it before, we have numerous conversations where it's just like, man, you got to look beyond that exterior, because we just seeing this stuff play out where like all these celebrity guys, man, they choose the baddest and they paying tons of alimony. Their bank accounts is just getting squandered. So the lessons are here. Whether you choose to like take them in, like I said, and be wise, or keep ignoring them, and everybody keep going down these paths and getting wiped out. The stories is here. So I think we should just like have these conversations and learn from them. That's where I'm at.
I lose attraction. Once I know your mind and your mentality is ugly, I lose attraction for you. I'd rather date I'd rather go lower to a 5 or 6 or something that got a better mentality.
Hey, gentlemen, let's be honest. When we were younger, did any one of our, like fathers or uncles or anything like that, did they literally tell us to, hey, you need to look beyond the beauty? Or did they teach us to look at the beauty first? And then later on down in life, we learn to start looking beyond the beauty.
Man, all my family members wasn't shit. They were going for looks, destroying families, and yeah.
Exactly.
That's saying that the older generations were simps.
Yeah,
before.
Absolutely. So that's what I'm saying, gentlemen, is that we've been taught to look at looks first, but as soon as we start having these experiences with dealing with women, that we start learning about the dynamics of them, learning about their hypergamous ways. Many of us have been used and abused by, certain type of women that we chose, right? And guess what? We start learning that lesson. Like, hey, I need to look beyond this trick on looks, because this is not what it is at all.
Yeah.
But the whole point I'm making is that there are many men out there who haven't got past that. They haven't got past looks. Therefore, that's why they still at this simp level. That's why they still at this yes man level, because they haven't got past that. Nobody ever taught them to look beyond that. They believe that that's the absolute in their world.
Yeah, that's why this information now is important, because we went through that, so they don't have to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
And Urban, like, I'm glad you brought that up, because just thinking about it, yeah, that older generation, man, that's why we have a lot of broken homes, because, they were chasing their desires. They see a bad chick, they was on it. And that's why, like, sometimes, like I said, when females kind of stop the conversations, they're like, oh, well, she's bad. She would have talked. It's like, man, that's irrelevant. Because if Ciara was with me and there was another chick that was like 3 points below her that operated right, I'm going over there. Maybe that might be rare, because she did and she's probably right, but still, maybe more guys, we start hearing this, more guys would start operating the right way. So you got to start, that's why I said, you got to put the information out there. More guys like us need to vocalize it. And then it might not be a ton of people, but if we can get 5% people that's like maneuvering right, actually going for good women that maneuver right, that's what we want to start seeing.
Let me just say this, right? Like, for example, right, what you just said, like, yeah, you could be dealing with a chick that's considerably like real attractive, like Ciara, but you may actually pick the chick that's 3 points below. I think the chick with the 3 points below, that's the one that really possesses the true beauty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a social construct within our communities, which will put this this bird, Ciara, on a pedestal, saying that she's really attractive. She's just a bird, man. I mean, she look alright. You know what I mean? Like, true beauty is a chick's character, fam. And the person that links up with the chick, that's the dude that, like I was saying before, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah. I mean, society may say she look mad good, but really, she really don't look good. There's plenty of real attractive females that I done dealt with. Like, yo, they really ugly in real life, right? Yeah, physically they look alright, but character-wise, they ain't nothing, man. They selfish. They ain't got no guard in them, and plus, they've been passed around. Know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like my baby moms. I can tell you that firsthand. She's the Antichrist. She's beautiful, but she's the Antichrist. That's what I made my mistake when I was younger. She was a beautiful woman, and I fell into my lustful nature, and that shit backfired.
Mm-hmm. But gentlemen, also that's kind of play the devil advocate on this situation, right? I want y'all to consider that women out there also believe that it is okay for them to look good versus them having a certain characteristics that's also acceptable to men. That's the reason why we be getting this ain't shit women. Is because they don't have to work on their character. If they know that all they got to do is put on the fake hair, the fake eyelashes, and put on makeup and stuff and get the man, that's all they did. They did their job.
Well, let me just say this, right? As a man, it's your responsibility to peep game. Anytime a chick is really super focused on how she physically looks, there's a certain type of a man within a certain level of caliber that she's seeking for. Never trust a chick that's purely focused on her beauty because she's advertising herself. Low key, she a pro. Know what I mean? And that's because there's levels to these birds, man. You know what I mean? There's 3 tiers, man. You got a bird, you got a pigeon, and you got a pterodactyl. You know what I mean? The pterodactyl is a chick that's a pro. She ain't got a soul, you know what I mean? And she's selling it to the highest bidder, you heard? So,
but hold on, because Urban, I like where he was going with it, man. Urban, continue on real quick, man, because
no, I'm just flabbergasted by Rush.
Rush ill with the analogy.
I started thinking about this. The first thing that came into my mind was, Rush, why the hell you wasn't cooking Lucky on this interview, like how you doing right now?
I was saying the same thing.
Bro was soft as hell.
What's the point of having soldiers when you can't use them? I was about to hop in.
Yeah, exactly. I like, bro, Rush, what you was doing? Then on top of that, he was struggle streaming.
Oh shit.
Russ looked like he was out of it somewhat. Like he almost was like didn't want to do the interview at that point. But I think Lucky had some solid points because like I think he was going down that path, Urban, where it's just like, all right, as men do, you know, we a lot of guys do participate in this bad behavior. They're the ones propping it up. You know, it's a lot of men that's like, hey, they show up pretty. They don't have no requirements, no expectations, and.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was the other point that I was going to make too, is that if she's doing that right, then what's going to be the standard for the men? You know what I'm saying? They're not going to try to go out and try to better themselves when they know this is what's been presented to them. And so the cycle does continue and over again. All he got to do is be this fake fictitious person that she want him to be, while she's being fake as well too, and they link together, possibly have children together and have a toxic relationship. Then that's when everybody had this kumbaya moment. Oh, I done fucked up. Now I want to change. You know what I'm saying? And that cycle keeps going over and over again. But meanwhile, you have genuine like myself, like sophisticated, like fam, Rush, you all as well too. We up here literally telling like, hey, we done been through these experiences. Listen to us so we can want to guide you to the correct, you know, type of woman that you desire. Fuck that. I'm only saying this because I be getting pushback like this on my channel all the time. I deal with these simp dudes on my channel all the time, and I deal with dudes who literally do want to change and better themselves. You know what I mean?
Yo, Urban, this is why I'm so against simps, because we got to hold men accountable, because I don't really blame the women, because the men don't require much but them to look good. That's why they only focus on their looks. I feel like women that just focus on their looks and lead with their looks is like men leading with their money.
Facts. I agree. Absolutely.
But let me ask y'all a question, because I know I heard it before. Who y'all think is going to be more successful though? Like the good girl that's probably like a 5 or a 6, or the chick that's probably like a 7 and 8, bad personality. Which one's going to do better out in the market?
In this simp society, the 8.
Okay.
I put it to you this way: the long game is going to be the average's best woman. Yeah. Because all she got to do is take her time and develop herself the way that she needs to be developed. But for us, the now moment, of course, the dimes, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's popular right now. That's sophisticated. That's like me and you going to the car dealership and you want me to choose a Honda versus a Lamborghini. Hell, I'm gonna choose a Lamborghini all the time. Hell, you mean? The Honda is the long game because it's more efficient and it's gonna, give me the things I desire for the long game. But the Lamborghini is the trophy thing. I just wanted this because it looked good. But the thing about it is that analogy is that's how the way a lot of men be thinking at that moment. They don't think about the long game. They think about what's happening now.
They want that short-term gratification.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, Rush, we could jump back into the video. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of break down what she was. Oh, my bad, Wally. Was you about to say something?
No,
man, I'm still laughing at Rush in that analogy, man.
Yeah, Rush said there's 3 levels of birds.
Yeah, stay away from the pterodactyls. That's the boss level.
Find a boss on them boys. Damn.
The reason why we would assume that he's a sucker or he a simp is because he's playing cleanup. He's trying to raise another man's child. And so we all know, and we could discern that Ciara still got a thing for our old boy. You know what I mean? Like if he were to come through, hit him out. He hit her out. He gonna slide it in the drawers, man.
How could you discern that though? How are you using a discernment? How is it even working in a situation you're not in? Like, how can we assume that? Is it because people who have experiences that they aren't in? How can we assume that? And then it just comes off as a person who, okay, so if we're saying if she has a child and you come up and you be with one with a child, everybody is a simp, then there's no conversation we can have where we're going to be on the same page. Because a lot of men should be thankful for their stepfathers. So if we're about to entertain a crowd that thinks that way, or a stepmother is a way.
Yo, you said something, fam?
She said stepfathers or stepfathers?
Stepfathers.
Oh, all right.
Well, real quick, Rush, because I could get, like, if you were a kid and you had a good experience, you are going to see it differently, like a stepfather. And to a certain degree, man, people that do that stuff, I don't have an issue with it. I mean, I wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I would have recommended it to people, but it's just like, if they get in there, it's just like, hey, man, here's all the nuances, kind of like Urban broke down. All right. Because, you know, when you step into a household with a kid, you got to take it serious. So
let me interject with the reason why I'm real solely against of dudes playing cleanup is because the long haul, nobody respects them and nobody cares about the stepfather. You know what I mean? There's plenty of guests that came on you know, my channel or whatever, you know, they like, yo, listen, man, I never cared about my stepdad. And these are men saying this, you know what I mean? Men and women. So it's like, yo, I don't recommend no dude to play cleanup, man, because, yo, you're not going to benefit in the long haul. Everybody's going to mistreat you, you know what I mean? You have no authority in the house, but all the responsibility, you know what I mean? It's just, it's crazy, man. Like, and most women that have stepkids that's bad or whatever, they're not gonna allow the cleanup guy to you know, take charge and, you know, discipline that child. Now you gotta deal with the real baby dad. You know what I mean? The real father. So now it could turn into an ugly situation, man. Yo, listen, man, never play cleanup, man. And the reason why I say never play cleanup, it doesn't give the incentive for the rest of the women to do the right thing and not sleep around and get knocked up. Yo, getting knocked up by a man, that's a huge responsibility, man. Like, you're stuck with that person for 18 years. You know what I mean? So for a female to carelessly get pregnant by a man and not marry him is crazy to me, man. Know what I mean? Like, nah, it's not good. Like, we gotta go back to the old school way, not wiping up these birds that already got kids, man. Word is born.
But what I was gonna say is, like, man, we all can make assumptions about stuff because a lot of stuff ain't that deep. You know, because like I said, even just me having the experience of raising my own kid, and when he went to that Moody phase, and I was like, oh, hell no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could definitely apply myself in other situations where I don't have the authority really, you know, to discipline a kid the right way. And if they have another external parent, you know, I could assume that would be a difficult situation. So I think that's a kind of a bad argument she made right there. But I think what we need to do, because, I mean, to a certain degree, people are making assumptions, but we should be asking the dudes that were in those dynamics. Somebody like Urban, like I said, my uncle, he pulled us all. He's like, hey, I wouldn't do this again. And I think a lot of those guys, that's who they need to start asking, because they're kind of, you know, lucky. And I think people that probably benefited from the situation, I understand their perspective, but it's like, pull them guys to the side and ask them questions like, would they do that again? And you be shocked by them responses and stuff. So I think that's where people need to start asking, like, man, okay, why we start asking the former stepdaddies or stepdaddies that are in them situations, ask them if they would do that again. You know, that's where we probably need to go with it.
So Russ, I got to disagree with you on one thing when you said that if Ciara called up if Future called up Ciara, she'll run to him. I don't think so. I think she's satisfied with her simp at this point.
Yeah, I don't think she will fuck with Future.
Yeah, I don't think she'll go back to Future at this point. When you said that, I don't think
she'll piss on Future if he was on fire at this point. All those shots he threw. So yeah, she ain't going back to that.
Yeah, I can disagree with that one, Rush. I don't think you should.
I'm gonna give y'all some pushback, man. One thing I know, man, the baby daddy always have leverage to smash your current girl. Word is born.
Nah, I can't say that.
Listen, man, the baby daddy will always have access to that poom poom, man. Word is born.
Hey, gentlemen, I'm also gonna give y'all pushback on this. All right, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. As long as Russell Wilson is doing the things required for him to do to obtain Ciara, then of course she's not going to go to the future. But the moment when that dude fuck up one time, there's one time.
Yeah.
Guess what? She's going to revert back to factory settings and go to future. Best believe. Best
agree with
believe
that.
that she always got future as the secondary option. The baby daddy is always the secondary option. I'm telling y'all. Behavior doesn't change.
That happens all the time. When the simp stops simping, that's when they go out. That's when they step out.
Yep.
But Urban, real quick.
Guess how? Guess how it happens. It don't happen because she's making a choice to do it. It's the people around her who's influencing her to make that choice to do it, like her homegirls or whatever. They say, "Oh, Russell is not doing this thing, girl. You could do better."
Yep.
What Future doing?
But Urban, do you kind of agree? Like, we need to start asking more guys that been in them dynamics, maybe like you and other guys,
Absolutely.
and getting their perspective on it versus everybody making assumptions.
Yeah, absolutely. You should, because just like we stated earlier, earn sharpens earn, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you learn from each other's experiences. That's the reason why these conversations are important. It's very important. Oh, I forgot to mention, I probably said this earlier. Y'all just didn't catch on to it, but I'm currently married right now to a single mother. You know what I'm saying? But the only difference between that situation in the past and this current situation is that the children's father have passed away.
Oh,
Okay.
That's the only difference in that situation. You know what I mean? But by me learning my experience in that last situation, entering into this situation, I know how to navigate through the situation more effectively, where we can, you know what I'm saying, be in a very positive relationship like what we got going on right now. I learned about, you know, my expectations and also limitations, you know, me being a stepfather to the children, you know, and I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Longest at the end of the day, we all are functioning with each other. We all respect one another. You know what I mean? That it could work. It could absolutely work.
Okay.
See, it could work with a guy like you because you know how to navigate. With a simp, it can't work.
No, not at all. Because he haven't got past that part of being a simp. He haven't got past that part that he needs to level himself up as a man, you know, use stoicism and everything, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Urban, if you don't mind me asking, so like because you sound like a pretty solid dude, man. You got a good like mindset, like you got standards and stuff. Did she already have like good structure, you know, with her kids, like had a discipline and all that stuff, which made you like consider stepping into that dynamic?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, once again, Jermaine, I learned from my past mistakes, you know, with dating and relationships and everything. So when I went through the process of vetting her out, I vet out everything. I didn't just go to her because she looked good. I was at that moment now where I'm looking at her characteristics of me, how the way you is as an individual person, as a woman, how the way you treat your children, the dynamics of, you know, of the relationship between the child father and you know what I'm saying, and other different situations as well too, for me to make that determination that, hey, you know, I believe that she'll be a good investment, you know what I mean? But if she didn't have none of that, then I wouldn't have got with her at all. And I'm gonna throw this at her too, gentlemen. If she were to have her child father in that relationship, right, current liver, right, I absolutely would not have dated her. I wouldn't, because I know that at the end of the day, just like what Russ was saying, that the child father do have some type of dynamics in their relationship for real. They have some type of authority in their relationship, and me personally, I don't want to come between the co-parent relationship. And also I didn't deal with this too, where dudes will try to come in and they'll try to out-parent you, you know what I mean? Where I'm that type of dude, like, hey, if that's your kid, that's your kid. I'm not gonna come in between there, but they want to compete, if that makes sense. They do want to try to compete because low-key still have, you know, low-key still have feelings for her. So I didn't want to deal with that at all, bro.
No, I'm glad you breaking it down like that. So yeah, because it makes sense, and I think sometimes you know, women that have kids, they take it as like it's a swipe towards them, and it's not. It's just, I could only imagine I got to deal with a dude like myself, because you know, if somebody like did some stuff to my son, man, like I said, I'm gonna be involved and stuff. So it would just be a bad dynamic for like, say like that dude got with my wife and then my son and all that. So yeah, I think sometimes women personalize it, but it's really about that guy, dudes don't want to deal with because they know it could escalate to silliness, how the competitive nature of men, like you're saying, urban. So yeah, I think they're not like thinking about all those dynamics. So I'm glad like we're kind of fleshing this out.
Yeah, think about the big part about it. Then here's another thing too that what women love to do. They love the pillow talk, bro. They love the pillow talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they'll sit up here and share all this information and stuff to my baby daddy, he didn't do this and do that. And the reason why they're doing that is because they're comparing you to this dude because they want you to be better than him, but the same as him. You know what I'm saying? They want you to be better than him for the negative stuff that he did to her. But she want him to be just like him for the good things that he did for her too.
Urban, let me ask you one more question, man, because I was on a panel one time on Will's channel, and a lady, she was asking me, she was like, I'm hearing a lot of the podcasts and they're saying it's over for me, and she was like, do you think since I got a kid and stuff it's over? I was like, nah, not necessarily. I was like, man, it's just how you market yourself, kind of like how you come in that situation. Because I was like, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, like even if I came out here and I had a kid, man, it's kind of a liability. So it's just how you market yourself. Like you're not coming out there like a liability. So what would you tell women? How would they like market themselves to be like a positive ad to a guy so he will step in that dynamic?
Well, I would want to tell her this. I would tell her to be upfront and honest with her intentions. Let the man know right off the bat, this is what you got going on in your situation. I'm a single mother with this child at this certain age. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to market yourself as, being this beautiful woman and I'm trying to attract myself. You put it all on the table right in there. This is me. This is my situation. And this is what I'm dealing with. How do you feel about it? And let the dude choose.
Oh, okay.
It's as simple as that. And if that dude is of a sound mind, he's going to make a emotional, intelligent decision based on that situation. He's either going to say, you know what, you may be a good investment and I'm going to move forward in this. Or he's going to say, no, you're not for me. And then if that dude say no, they need to, just like you stated earlier, if that dude do say no, don't take it as nothing personal. Just understand that you just don't qualify for that person. It's just that simple.
Okay. Because one thing in this interview, like I'll give Lucky credit. She was talking about like working with somebody, compounding. So that's another thing. If like a woman coming out there and she's talking about like a higher level intellectual stuff like that, I would say that would be a good sign because they're not coming in there to take. They're coming in there like, hey, I know finances. I'm good with like saving money. I'm not a spender. Hey, I know how to invest. I'm going to help grow this stuff. So, I mean, if they come out there like that, I think that would definitely be a positive where a guy be like, hey, at first, I thought I would have never messed with no chick with a kid, but this girl's outshining everybody. So I think it's like stuff like that, like what you said, Urban. And then, if they had like a financial literacy and stuff, I think that definitely helps bridge that gap.
Even with that, bro, you have to be like really careful on that because at that point, some of these women who think like that, they're not thinking about being in the dynamics of an actual relationship. They thinking about being in a partnership with you. You know what I'm saying? And I say this all the time on my channel that anytime you deal with a woman and she always talking about partner or partnership or anything in that dynamic, you should immediately get rid of that woman simply because she not looking at you in a relationship. She look at you as an opportunity for advancement. You know what I'm saying? No relationship is not a business transactional, you know what I'm saying, in that sense, you know what I mean? Now, keep in mind, the relationship dynamic is transactional, but it's not business-wise transactional where I'm the CEO and you're partner up with me and we're building the business together. No, this is not how relationships operate at all, period. Because what's going to happen is that, let's say, for example, that you CEO of their relationship, right? You decide to move a totally different direction. Your partner don't agree with that. Guess what's going to happen? That partner's going to either leave that relationship, or they're going to sabotage that partnership agreement, or they're going to breach the contract of that partnership agreement, which is going to cause problems. So to prevent all that, don't even deal women with that mindset. Now, one last thing. It's different if she's trying to promote herself, that she have these certain skill sets that she could bring into the relationship, but she's not trying to overstep the relationship, the boundaries of the relationship, saying that since I got these skills, I'm better than you, and I could do these certain things, and you can't tell me what to do. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, Urban, I think.
Oh, go ahead, Famous.
Not that Urban, I think that this is good information. I think you're a perfect example of how to navigate, a relationship with a single woman. Because to be with women in general, you just got to have a deeper understanding about women before you even get into a relationship with them.
Facts. I agree.
All right, Rush. You wanna? Is there any other sections you want to comb? Because I think this was a good discussion overall as far as the Russell Wilson.
Oh, she's going to say something else in there, and I want to.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
He doesn't ever got to it yet.
Well, Urban, what section you want me to go to? Tell me what she was talking about. So I can go directly to it.
It's going to come up shortly. Just let it play, and I'll tell you when to stop.
Okay.
Hey, that's fine. I'm not trying to change nobody's mind, but that goes against me. So I already know that it's set up to let's throw darts at Lucky because that's goofy as fuck. Like, I'm not going to say Shaq is a bad person because Shaq thanks his stepfather. And that's insane. A lot of people wouldn't even be something. I think what makes you a simp or a cleanup crew is if you are trying to father a bastard, as far as she was a reckless person or the way she carried herself, like if she's like a Summer Walker, you get what I'm saying? It's like, so if we're just comparing that, it's just like, I mean, y'all have it. I don't think people would even be in that circle, but hey, go ahead. And it's you asking me questions. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Yo, shout out to Fan for putting the statement on here. Pretty much, Russell Wilson is the safe guy. And in lame terms, what this young king is saying is that, listen, a lot of times female will play this in the playbook, like, yo, yeah, I mean, they let the live nigga, the bad boy, the scammer, the drug dealer smash, and then link up with the sucker like or Russell because he's the safe choice. You know what I mean? And that's why we look at it in a negative light. You know what I mean?
I ain't gonna lie. She look like
I mean, I feel where you coming
from.
Like
I mean, she does not want to be there at all.
Yeah, I told you. She looked like she had an attitude. I'm like, that's why I commented. I'm like, why you look so mad? Why you don't want to be there? Why she got an attitude?
So Rush, let me ask you this question. When you invite her to the show, did you tell her that she was going to do strictly an interview, and did you explain to her the whole dynamics, how the way your interview goes?
No, I mean, I didn't get into I didn't give her like intricate details on how I was going to interview her, but people kind of like know, like, I'm not saying I'm a big content creator, but people within the space seeing the type of people I've interviewed before, and they kind of get the gist on how I do my interviews. You know what I mean?
But Rush, another thing, if she knows she's going to do an interview with you, she should do some type of research on how you do stuff before she come on. I know if I go on something, I'm not going to look crazy. I'm going to do some research.
What was that?
No, so tell me that I didn't tell you that, because that's what I'm saying. Like, I ain't gonna lie, when Lucky came, I'm like, she didn't do no research, because it's like, I think if she knew what she was working with, I think honestly she wouldn't have did it.
Yeah, no, but I think it kind of, because I'll give Lucky credit on this, man. She's very smart, man, and I think certain people, because like you said, maybe she didn't do her research and stuff, but I do think, like, Rush, I would just say for future stuff, like, you got to know who you're interviewing also. So like if I'm interviewing like Lucky or somebody else that likes to kind of go deeper in conversations, I will formulate questions differently for them, or I have like a topic to, so they could go them layers deeper. Because I think sometimes when you got those type of critical thinkers, like if I was interviewing Urban, man, I'm gonna take them deep on some stuff. Because I think sometimes if you got a critical thinker up there and the questions might be like baseline, typical stuff, like we might chop up on a panel where we're having fun and stuff. They kind of will zone out. So I think it's just you got to kind of know the person you're interviewing also, man. So I think it's both.
Yeah,
not. Yo, hold on. I know a lot about Lucky. That's why I presented those questions, because a lot of her content, like, it's based on being an opposition towards the red pill joint. That's why I asked her about the whole situation with old boy, the comedian dude. What's his name, man? Tracy Morgan. Now I mean, like in one of her shows, she didn't overtly say, "Oh boy, was not good looking," but she, she did it low key, she said a slick comment. So I'm like, oh, okay, I know how I'm gonna play it. But I have an idea who Lucky is.
But Russ, you did your research. You can say a bunch of stuff about her, but she ain't do no research about you. And she gonna be on your thing to get interviewed?
But that's sort of the point that I'm making, because it's like, for me, it's like the way I'm looking at it, just based upon like in some formats of me looking at Lucky's content sometimes, I just believe like if I'm gonna do something with somebody, for me, I'm gonna ask like, what's the show gonna be about? And then if I don't get if it's vague, I gotta know, because it's like I'm not gonna waste my time on something either. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if it ain't worth nothing, I would never do it.
Yep. Ask Russ. I tell him before we get on the live, I tell Russ, what's the topic?
Mm-hmm. And here's
most definitely,
here's another thing too, gentlemen. Now, I honestly believe that Lucky came up there. She came up there because she believed that Rush was going to promote her, and he was going to promote her channel. Within the promotion, she believed that Rush was going to ask her a question where he's going to be lifting her up. Hey, Lucky, y'all need to go subscribe to her channel, blah, 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 blah. If you ever subscribe to her channel, go ahead, blah, 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 blah. And I believe that she thought that was going to be the whole dynamic of the show. But where Rush started, asking these open-ended questions, that's where, I noticed her behavior started changing, where she's looking like, well, I'm not here for this. That's the energy she's giving. Like, well, I'm really not here for this. Yeah. I'm here for you to promote my channel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So within that, I can understand, her attitude behind that. But at the same time, like Fam said, right, it's her responsibility to also research the interview as well, to research the show and see what's the dynamic of the show about. Rush show is similar to Jesse Lee Peterson. Okay. It's similar to that, where Jesse Lee Peterson, he do the same as that thing where Rush do, but also he be trolling way worse than Rush, way worse. But
it's funny, bro. I interviewed Jesse Lee Peterson.
You interviewed him,
and he was trolling. Hey, shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson though, man. Like, he's definitely a legend, man. But yeah, man, he kind of trolled me a little bit, but I ain't been out of shape. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I would just say, like I said, because I don't think you did anything wrong. But I would just say, like, man, when you have certain people, sometimes you got to have that pivot. It'd be like a comedian. If he go on stage and his joke bombs, it's like, all right, you got to have a follow-up. So yeah. I would just ask people like, hey, man, what do you kind of want to talk about? You know what I'm saying? Certain people like that, like us, man, I'm like, dude, you ain't got to tell me no topic. I'm coming up. I will wing it, because I kind of like doing that, because, it helps me like, be able to like just talk about any topic. But I think like when you have certain people that might not be over here all the time, I would just be like, hey, man, is there certain topics you want to break down also? Just, to extend that arm.
Mm-hmm. And that's real good that you're saying that too, because let's say in the future, which I see it in the future for Rush in his channel, where he started interviewing some really, really high profile people. Guess what's going to happen? The publicist is going to go over the questions that he's going to ask beforehand, and they're going to
That's
look at it and
facts.
say like, "Hey, yeah, you could ask this question. No, you cannot ask that question." And then the moment when you step out of that boundary, so the certain question, right? Guess what? They're going to cut it right in and there, like, mm-mm. So that's good for you as an interviewer too, as what Sophisticated saying, that you tailor them questions, where it fits that person that you're interviewing. Likewise, it's up for them to, research you and see,
Yeah.
what type of show that you have and what type of interview that you're running.
But yeah, I wouldn't. You didn't do nothing wrong, Rush. Yeah, it's just kind of like I like what Urban's saying. So you just the energy's not flat in the interview because she might just be burnt out with these topics because she has been in this space for a minute. So that's why I think it could be some of that too, where it's like, oh man, I got to talk about this shit again. So that's why I was like, I would just reach out to certain people, like, hey man, is there certain things because you want to talk about? Because the feminism part, I think y'all could have had a great discussion on that piece.
Yeah, and that's what I'm waiting on her to get to, right? So we have a discussion about that.
All right. Okay. Yeah, we could do that section.
Yeah, I'll go directly to. I want to go directly to that and the OnlyFans section. Yeah, I mean, and I want to get y'all. I really want to get y'all opinion. What's your thoughts on expounding on that? But I'm about to play it now. Hold on, guys. You know what I mean? You feel it. You feel a certain.
There's enough women where you would a doll like that's. I feel like that's an West abomination somewhere. Show gripes with American women because it's like you sound like the black dude. A bird is gonna chase a bird. I don't understand. Pigeons hang around each other. Why a little weird bitch? Like I don't the men we see on child. Typically after a marriage, he does not want full custody because they're gonna look for a follower. They're gonna look for something like that. So as long as those niggas followed up that principle, it's just like a man could be racist and say, "Hey, my girlfriend's black."
It's been this way. Women chose.
They don't have a bitch who care about their day at all. Ain't ask them what they thought today. Ain't care to love them. She waiting for that nigga to die. Okay, so she can collect. So type of women, they're going online, they shame them. So it's kind of like the person who's in the closet. So no, I wouldn't say that.
Okay. My next question for you is, do you think feminism have poisoned the minds of the women within our generation in today's day?
Yeah. I would say social media has done more of a job, and lack of masculinity in our community has done that because feminism, the phase of feminism that most men hate, or most people we all should hate. I think that phase of feminism was able to thrive because there was not any phase of dominant men in our community that to combat the narrative where women had to. A lot of women took freedom that's not really freedom from your order. If you already have no value or see a purpose or understand the seriousness of that order, then you're going to say it's good for you. But I think it is a lot of things that played into it, not just feminism. I think feminism mixed in with social media, mixed in with not having an authoritative figure, or let me just say a dominant male perspective in most women's lives around that time. And today.
I guess that's a good answer, you know. My next question for you would be, what's your thoughts on women that disperse content on OnlyFans? Do you think they have a hard time understanding on why it would be hard for them to get into a serious relationship?
I don't think it's hard. I think men project a lot of ideas because I think online and social media in these conversations, if the same men who are indulging behind the scenes in those type of women, they're going online and they shame them. So it's kind of like the person who's in the closet. So they're going to talk badly about homosexuality, but they really like gay shit. So I feel like OnlyFans is not gonna be, unless she's like promoting in a way and she's just super out there. No, I think a woman could still find a relationship with a man who be with her. You have porn stars who people know they were porn stars and they still gonna be with them. I don't think Jada Fire is having a problem with a serious committed man in a relationship because she still look good. So OnlyFans is honestly, and I would say OnlyFans is a lot different than porn, because at least OnlyFans, it depends because I don't know. But OnlyFans, the girls that I see that I went to school with, girl named Brittany, honestly, she's married and she fucks herself on OnlyFans. So I mean, hey,
Married to who though?
I don't know if you if men don't want to marry those type of.
Russ, pause it real quick.
Go ahead,
Russ.
Sam. Yeah,
she's saying they married, but they married to who? They're not married to the guy they actually want. They once you do stuff like that and put yourself out there, you're not going to get the guy you actually want. Ain't no man with standards or boundaries going to take you serious. They getting with these super simps and cucks.
So to jump in there, man, will they be able to find somebody? Yeah, because like what Fame said, it's just like, just because you slap the label of marriage, husband and wife, don't mean like you're living up to the responsibilities and stuff. So it's like, if you're doing stuff like that, already you're out of order, because like I said, eventually that could have a major impact on your kids. So if you're that selfish and self-centered, and your husband's cool with that, to let you tarnish his legacy, yeah, he's a fucked up individual, and eventually it's gonna come to head. So that's what, like, a lot of them females, because a lot of them porn stars, if you look at their like documentaries, they get with dudes, but a lot of them dudes are sick. Nah, they be putting hands on them, like heavy on drugs and stuff. Kids are impacted.
What's wrong with you, jerk?
So
to date a woman like that been out there like that, there's something got to be wrong with you. That's why I say when women say they married to simps, that don't count.
Yeah, it doesn't. So typically, like, they end up seeing who that guy is, and they can't stand that guy after a while. So that's why, like, even I think Mia Khalifa, she was married, he left her. There's a ton of them, like, so they'll find somebody for a short benefit, because them guys.
See, and this is why.
Hold on, real quick. Just those guys, they want to live out some like freaky fantasy, but once they the women start seeing that them guys see him as a fetish, they want to get up out of there, man. So it don't end good.
Those guys are sick in the head.
And this is why body count matters, man, because like you was breaking down the science on the Indian porn star, Mia Khalifa, whatever. The reason why her husband left her is because people kept on sending video images of her getting plowed by different men. You know what I'm saying? So your body count matters whether you want to accept the fact or not. Know what I mean?
Go ahead, Wally. Wally, you said something?
No,
go ahead, Wally.
No, I'm just saying, like, wasn't her boyfriend also a porn star?
Nah, not her husband. Her husband was a regular dude. I don't know about her porn star boyfriend, but I know she was married to a dude.
No, as far as the guy you talking about, like the actual married dude, I'm thinking like he was also a porn star because he was a white dude, something. I don't know. I'm just good.
Yeah, I got a whole song breaking that down too. So y'all go check that out.
But the documentary I was looking for, because they followed like a few porn stars and stuff, and they was talking about their background. And one of the ladies, like you said, she got married, she had kids, and she was just breaking down in there because like their whole thing was like to prevent other women from going down that path. And she was like, man, when I go to like school meetings, she was like the hardest group. She was like, most men just move past her background. She was like, it's the women that treat her like shit. Don't want her near like any of their husbands and stuff. So she was like, I'm isolated. Because of the negative impact, I forgot her name, but yeah, I was watching a documentary and she was just like, nah, she was like, don't go down this path. It's lonely. Because once you go down there, your image is tarnished. So yeah, people could find people, but it's like Famous said, it's like, who is that individual and how long is that going to last when you figure out like that guy got some weirdo tendencies and stuff.
I think we all can just find just anybody if we wanted to.
Yeah, but I don't know, because this is the one thing I will say that as pushback, because when she said in the clip, right, because you asked her about feminism, and then she's saying, well, yeah, because the rise of it, and then of course like how masculinity is being, lowered down, but then it's like, okay, then you're talking about your girl, someone you knew, whatever it is doing OnlyFans and then has a dude. I'm like, well, wait a minute, aren't you just isn't that what you just put out about feminism saying all this? I'm like,
No, the statement she made was like she said feminism is poisoning the minds, and then she said like it's because like guys kind of like lack the leadership.
But
so in her case, it's kind of right because that dude is accepting that bad behavior.
But but that's my whole point. But even to the point of like what she like to the question is like, okay, but then you saying that okay, she got somebody, but it's like going back to what Famous saying, who's the dude? Because like
I do agree with her with the feminism room poisoned the minds because they're conditioning the men to be simps and they conditioning women to be more masculine. So, and you got to break. That's why it's good to have this information out because you got to break that because they've been indoctrinated. You've been indoctrinated since you was young. You're Disney programming.
But is it feminism or is it just like people kind of doing what they honestly wanted to do?
It's feminism and the economy depends on simps.
I think we slap labels on stuff sometimes as an excuse, but I think if you go and you jump on OnlyFans, I don't think it's feminism. I just think you was just an unruly person and you was kind of a piece of shit. Like,
that's part of it because feminism teaches them they can do whatever they want.
I'm gonna give you some pushback on that, man. Like, most females that's a leftist feminist, they condone those women to go on OnlyFans and disperse that sexual content, man. You know what I mean? All that stems from the leftist feminist movement.
But right trad wives, man, they be out in the streets too. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all don't get it twisted. That's what I'm saying. It's I get the whole liberal thing. I think that's like convenient for everybody, but them chicks that be in church and stuff.
Jerk, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been seeing a lot of right-wing women like out here in bikinis and doing the same type of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Is it honestly feminism or is it just like when the shame kind of left and all that stuff? Like parents not trying to be friends with the kids. I think they just cut loose, man.
I think all women got a little liberal in them. I think they're all liberated to a certain extent.
Yeah, and that stems from the leftist feminist movement, man. Know what I mean? Yeah. Like, especially the women that go to church and that's proclaiming to be a part of the body of Christ, they low-key have a level of the leftist feminist movement within them. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, the feminist movement is poison to our society. It definitely decimated the nuclear family where we was born.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
And I think a lot of the right-wing women, they pretend to be that for a trend, but they're liberated too, most of them.
Okay. I believe she gave that argument as a counterclaim to what she was talking about for as feminists, talking about the OnlyFans thing. She was just trying to do a compare and contrast. And the reason why she was doing that is because at the end of the day, she was trying to hold men accountable. She was separate saying that, hey, this is the resort of men not being in these leadership roles. Since y'all not in these leadership roles, the resort is that your daughters, your wives, or whatever you want to call them and stuff, right? They decide to resort to doing these OnlyFans, sites and stuff, or let's call it for what it is, be sex workers. You know what I'm saying? They resorted to that. It was the left and liberals and stuff promoted that. Absolutely they are. They're promoting that you should be part of that sex work movement because that's how women will make their money. That goes back to what I was saying earlier, is that they teach women that instead of them dealing with their intellect, dealing with their mind, using emotional intelligence to get what they want, they teach them that you should use your looks and your body to get what you want. Because they know it's going to be a marketplace of simps out there that's going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And it's a never-ending cycle. You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy, bro, that we put this information out here because we do it in hopes and in faith that we could get to these simps and make them no longer become simps. But at the end of the day, man, you're always going to get dudes that's going to be simps. It is like a never-ending cycle. You know what I'm saying? it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But that doesn't stop us from talking about it. It doesn't stop us from putting the information out there for what it is. Now she's going to mention later in this clip about kind of go deeper into feminism. But I'm just gonna talk about it. The wave of feminism that she was talking about was the second wave of feminism, all right? That was roughly I believe 1960s and beginning of 1980s, right? That was during the time where the men were getting out of the different wars and different things like that, and the men were very, very abusive to their women. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the second wave was created. The first wave was definitely created due to the patriarchal system. So let's keep it real, keep it a buck. First wave was because of the patriarchal system. Women didn't have the right to vote. They didn't have the right to do all these things, and they won the dudes who's been abusive to them. You know what I'm saying? And then all of us black up here, right? So even during the slave time and stuff, right? These women, they end up connecting with these slave women and slave men and stuff, right? And told them like, hey, we want to be liberated. Y'all want to be liberated, right? So if you join our movement, which is the first wave of feminism, we could get all what we want, but they disguise it as what? Civil rights. You know what I'm saying? Then later on down the line, that's when they separate civil rights and start saying feminism. You know what I mean? So all the way back to the second wave, what she's talking about right now. Yes, it is absolutely true that within that time, preferably our communities was creating broken homes where these dudes was going out conquering every pretty little thing that they see, because that's how the way that was taught, you know what I'm saying? So it caused these broken houses. It caused these women to literally raise a family on their own while these dudes out here, they was on drugs and all kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Those wilding out. Some dudes, matter of fact, those of y'all who are old enough to remember, dudes out there that was proclaiming that there was pimps and stuff, right? Slapping people with powders and all kind of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Those wilding out, you know what I mean? So so in that sense, they have a legitimate argument on that, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what was happening in that said time. But now we're living in a modern time where we as men recognize the errors of our ways, and therefore we're having these conversations saying like, yeah, y'all right about that. Our young predecessors did fuck up. We did. They did it. Yeah. But now we in this generation, we acknowledge that and we're trying to do better. But it seems like y'all not letting go of that past. Y'all still holding us accountable for what they did. You know what I mean?
Urban, I'm glad
for
you
all
said
y'all.
that, Urban.
I got smoke for all of y'all on this panel. Russ, put all y'all in the box. I'm about to give y'all this work. But nah, man, I still think the feminism argument, I think it's an excuse. Because, man, once you hit a certain age, you're an adult. And you don't have to make bad decisions. That's a choice. That's a personal choice. So think about it. If these chicks are on OnlyFans and they're doing all this stuff, there's a lot of job options you could go do. No, you're just lazy. You want fast money. Yeah. This ain't tied to no feminism. This is just you as a personal individual. You lack integrity and honor, and you want to go do this easy shit. And I think, man, when we keep tying everything to feminism, man, I think it's enabling bad behavior because it's giving them that coverage. It's giving them that excuse.
We have to factor in, and it's not an excuse. It's just what's really going on. We have to factor in with this feminist movement. This inspires women to move in that direction. Your Cardi B's, your Megan Thee Stallions, all of them are self-proclaimed feminists, man. Know what I mean? So we have to be mindful that feminine and let's not sleep on this, man. The leftist feminist movement is poison to our society, man. Know what I mean? Yeah. And word is born, man. It's inspired through Satanism when you really look at it. And I'm gonna do a show on that, how Satanism helps motivate this feminist movement, man. Word is born, man.
Yeah,
and that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's the women that get on OnlyFans and move like a bird, because there's 3 levels of a bird. You got a pigeon, you know what I mean? No. You got a regular bird, you got a pigeon, and then you got a pterodactyl, man. Those are 3 different tiers, man. And
but Russ, let me ask you something real quick.
All right, go ahead.
So the females that's in, say, like OnlyFans, we'll lump them together. that's doing corn, is that the minority or majority?
Yo, when you look at the stats from the age of 18 to 25, they say 75% of the women are dispersing content on OnlyFans. So I would say majority. So
that's impossible.
Your modern
We
day
gotta look at that stuff.
Your modern day female is a pterodactyl, aka a pro. You know what I mean? Be mindful what's going on, and it all stems from the feminist movement. I gotta do a show on that, man. But go ahead.
I would say it's the minority. I know them stats can't be that high. If it is, then you know what? I'm gonna shut the hell up.
18-25?
But they all got the Jezebel spirit in them. I think feminist tells them that they can do whatever they want with no consequences. That's the problem.
No, don't get me wrong, man. Like, there's definitely some, but I'm just saying, like, most females ain't going down that path. So if females are going down that path, it highlights their mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because they could easily go down different paths.
Man, like, your average female now is a self-proclaimed feminist, man. Now, I mean, boss girl movement, this, and I could do everything on my own. Like, that's no different from Alex Crowlister's belief and ideology. You know what I mean? On Satanism. You know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna do a show on that, and I'm gonna break down the science I'm gonna break it down to a single molecule. Word is born, man. You know what I mean?
Yo, I want to expound on what Urban said, because Urban broke down the ways of feminism perfect. Right now, the woman, they're like the fourth wave feminism is like the reverse for the second wave feminism. It's like the opposite now.
I like what Urban was breaking down, because I just think, man, when we don't hone in on specifics, it gives people coverage, because what they'll do is take the whole movement, like, yeah, you know, we were brainwashed. It's like, no, man, you just, as an adult, made a bad decision. You're just a bad adult. Like, we got to stop, because, man, that's part of the coddling, man. I think that's going on. It's like, man, take away the movement. You ain't had to go do that shit. You could have went to school. You could have went and done these programs. So I think, man, we give people coverage and excuses.
If feminism is supposed to be an empowerment to allow women to be as powerful as a man, why are you choosing these brackets, aka OnlyFans, to be that?
There you go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Wally.
It's about conquering men. That's what it's about.
But that's what I'm saying. It's bullshit, because my thing is, why do that? You're only conquering from a sense of sex, but my thing is, you ain't really conquering a sense of money and power. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Hey, Sophisticated, I can acknowledge and agree with you that at the end of the day, it deals with choice. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But, however, could we both agree that behavior is learned? Could we at least agree on that?
Yeah. No.
By us agreeing that behavior is learned, that goes back to what we were saying earlier about the whole feminist movement. You know what I'm saying? Of it, these said women have been learned to resemble this type of behavior. Now, they have the choice to either choose to either do it or not. Absolutely. But just like what Rush was saying, which, to be honest with you, that is true, by the way. He's talking about between the ages of 18 to 25 of these modern women, not every woman on the planet, but these particular modern women, yes, they are being taught that the best way for you to obtain some type of level of income is to enter into social media. They do that in the beginning. Am I correct, Rush? They do that in the beginning. Enter in social media. They start up. Most of them start off with TikTok and IG first. Say I'm lying. Mm-hmm. Preferably with IG. What they do is that they'll go and post these thirst trap pictures on IG. When they see that that's not working, it's not beneficial to them, that's when they start resorting to these other social media platforms, which is X, formerly Twitter. They'll go to TikTok. If it's not making them money there, then guess what? Their last resort is what? OnlyFans. Yeah. They'll go to OnlyFans and start participating in OnlyFans. If OnlyFans not working out, then that's when they dive even deeper into the rabbit hole of becoming a sex worker. So absolutely that is true that they're doing that. Once again, I'm gonna make this clear with y'all. We're talking about between the ages of 18 to 25 with these modern women. Yes, that is true. They do that. Now, I'm not talking about the older women. You know what I'm saying? The older women, they get to a certain age, and they're doing certain other things depending on the generation that they're in. Now, these other generations like baby boomers and, the generation that we in, they wouldn't be thinking about OnlyFans like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been taught that it's wrong, it's nasty, it's immoral and different like that, so they want to do things like that. But if they were to do that right, they'll try to do something safe, like go on OnlyFans to post their feet, or something like that, hand thing or whatever weird shit that they do. Something safe, you know what I mean?
Once the attention get low, the clothes come off.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you said, Urban, not only is it learned behavior, they get rewarded for their behavior too, so there's no incentive for them to change.
Absolutely, because
but where's the learned behavior coming from?
That's why I'm saying movement.
How's that influencing?
Well, I mean, it stems from positive reinforcement, right? Whenever you're
who's giving the positive reinforcement?
The Simpsons giving the positive reinforcement for them being birds. You know what I mean? And
that's feminist.
That's a learned behavior, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like the logic ain't flowing with feminism. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's good if they're using it in a self-centered manner. But I'm just saying, like, if feminism could produce a female banker or like a senator, a governor, whatever, on a positive end, then it can't be blamed for like these OnlyFans bums. So that's what I'm saying. I think we give too much power to feminism.
Yeah, gotcha. I understand that, and I can acknowledge that too, and I could agree with that. That's the same argument like Russ was saying earlier about religion, right? Now, I'm not a religious person, but however, I understand that religion could go either two ways. It could be something positive, where it could be beneficial to a person, and it could be negative as hell as well too. That's the same thing with feminism. It could go either way. It could be positive, which in the beginning movement of feminism, which is the first wave, it was positive because women did need to have certain rights, you know what I'm saying, to be part of society, because it's all about evolution. You know what I'm saying? So we needed women to be part of that evolution. You know what I mean? Okay. So when it was happening that way, it was nothing wrong with that. But now the second, third, and fourth wave of feminism, it's not dealing with women being a part of society. It's dealing with power. And that's the issue.
Oh, okay. I got you. I see what y'all saying now. So would it be fair to say like the third and fourth wave is kind of like extremism?
It's radicalized.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. Exactly. Just like what they talk about man in power movement, right? Like the red pill and all this stuff, right? Manosphere. We understand the whole dynamics of that, right? Where it's empowerment to us, it's giving us information so we can move and navigate as men, right? So that's positive. But at the same time, you have these other men who take it and abuse it and start doing some real radical bullshit with it. You know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna keep it real. Like my boy Andrew Tate. You know what I'm saying? I respect the brother, but his stuff is a stream for real. He be talking about some wild stuff that I do not agree with at all, period. But other dudes agree to it. They gravitate towards that, you know what I mean? But they give a bad light on Manosphere, Red Pill, and all this stuff because of this dude and other dudes who think the same exact way, like him.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all check out that article, like Wally put it back. Yeah, it said only like 2%. Y'all talk about so 75.
You know, every article is different though. You gotta check out.
Yeah, that's true.
But I ain't gonna lie. This last one though, this one I'm looking at, but this shit's crazy, dog. But nah, I mean, for so far what it is, it sounds like what Russ is saying is pretty much true. I mean, give or take. But as far as the 18 to 25, but that shit wild though. Shit wild. Oh man, this shit wild.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's still a lot of people, man. So I'm not saying, like, I just think, man, like, because I get what people are saying, because it's easier to classify stuff like saying the feminism movement. But, man, I think there's a lot of entitlement. And I just think, man, people are just going for easy money, man. And I think that's the deeper issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. Sophisticated.
I agree with that. I do.
Yep, they're going for the fast money and the instant gratification. That's why it's no incentive for them to change, because it's so easy to make that money.
Well, because what I don't want to happen, man, and this is why I try to hone in more on that and break it down to that level, because what I see like a lot of people doing, it's like, oh, okay, you know what? Let's just blame feminism and we don't have to take accountability for our own decision making and actions that we chose. And I'm like, oh, hell nah. Once you become an adult, man, you got that responsibility of your decisions. You just made some piss poor decisions. So I'm not going to let you latch on to like feminism or anything just to give them a blanket state. Because they'll do that. They'll be like, oh, I was just brainwashed. I was manipulated. That's where we start getting all this jargon and shit.
Yo, look at. It says an additional 70% of Americans using the platform are women. The Washington Examiner found meaning 1.4 million American women are on OnlyFans. Now, I mean, now there is a stat that gets into the specific percentages. Shout out to Michael Sartain for getting us hip to the game. He the one actually that got me hip to the game on how the percentage with modern day female dispersed content on OnlyFans. Like, yo, we're cooked as a society, man. Word is born.
Nah, facts. So thank you for showing them. Yeah, that's some high numbers. But I chalk it up to like decision making, man. Because I don't want no excuses for your bad decision. Once you hit a certain age, I'm holding you to a decision making of an adult. I don't want to hear no manipulation. Oh, I was brainwashed by the feminist movement. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm like, bullshit.
But you know they birds, because the moment you hear them start talking, like I forgot what podcast it is that interview one of these porn stars, but you hear them start talking, and it's like, yeah, you already know you gone. You way gone past your pay grade, because it's like your headspace is so far gone out there. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of them, they gone, bro.
They start making excuses once they leave the platform to try to rebuild themselves. That's when the excuses come.
Yeah, that's when I go to church.
I mean, to be honest with you, gentlemen, I believe that's a legitimate claim to make when they say that, hey, I was manipulated and all this stuff, because it's the truth. That's literally what happened. When you've been conditioned to be the way, manipulation is part of that. But I know I feel you, Sophisticated. I know you feel calm. I feel you.
The box, Rush. Put him in
let me hit the butt.
I agree, right?
Put us in the box, Rush.
Manipulated, but there has to be a thought process at hand.
Hold on. So here's the butt part about that. The butt part is that they are acknowledging what's happening to them, and by them acknowledging what's happening to them, they're now taking accountability for said behavior. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing for them to make that blanket statement and then to say, yeah, I'm being manipulated. Okay, what's next? Oh, well, I'm just gonna go back and do it again because I've been manipulated. I can't change. No, you're understanding what happened, right? Yes, you were. Now you're taking accountability and you moving forward from that, where you won't be part of that no more. You know what I'm saying? That's the point that I'm making.
Nah, because that's solid to a certain degree, but this is where I just gotta give the pushback, and we gotta hone in on this. Because man, I know people that come from like good homes. Both parents was like religious, put the kids in activities. So my whole thing is like, how come nobody ever could manipulate you to do good stuff? Like, because they won't listen to nobody. But then it's like, man, you could be manipulated to do all this other stuff. That's why I just give pushback. It's just like, nah, man, you just was unruly. You wanted to do what you wanted to do. And I think it's just that simplistic, man. But I do see what you're saying, because I think they're looking at other people that's probably like, I think it's more or less greed in there, greed and materialism, that type of stuff. Because I think they're seeing like a female that would cash out, and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna go do that. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's more or less, I think it's just that they want that lifestyle, and they're willing to sacrifice their morality for it. So,
Jerk, ultimately, the choice is yours. You're right. It's their choice. But, you know, listen, if men can make money like that, you don't think they would be doing the same thing?
Oh, man. I say all the time, I think OnlyFans females are like equivalent to drug dealers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was no movement that made guys be drug dealers. You know, that's what I'm saying. There was no like masculinity movement where guys were like, oh my God, I need to go do this. Nah, they wanted that cheese so they could live a certain lifestyle, get some chicks. So I think it's the equivalent to females. I think they're just like, hey, I want to get this paper. I want to like buy handbags. I would I want to kick it and have my life, and it's just that it's simplistic, you know. And I don't want to give them no lane to make it over complicated so they can hide behind shit.
Yeah, and I can understand that. So
Yeah.
we can also consider this too. Let's say in the same scenario that the said woman, she don't know nothing about feminism. She don't even know what the hell it is. But yet still she chose to be part of being a sex worker.
Yeah.
Are we gonna blame feminism because of that? No, because she honestly don't know what it is. You know?
Yeah. But no, like with the waves you're saying, I think that the thinking did come from that. It's like when it just got opened up too much, and so it did have some impacts on people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think at this point in life, where we're like heading in society, I just think, man, most people are just like driven by like their desires. Like I said, materialism, being superficial, and they're willing to like image don't matter no more. It's like, I'm gonna go get it because there's gonna be some like guy that would slide in. I think that's how their brain just works now. Like somebody would take me on at this point, regardless what baggage I have.
Yeah, like I said, I think the fourth wave is the second wave for women.
Oh, now when I was doing my research on the waves of feminism, right, I had learned that each wave was fighting against the next wave. Like it started with the first wave, right? The first wave, the second wave was fighting against the first wave, right? Then the second wave happened. Then as the second wave happened, they created the third wave because it's fighting against the second wave. And so the third wave happened. Now the fourth wave is fighting against the third wave. You know what I mean? It is a continuation of that.
So what you're saying is women are fighting each other. Goddamn.
Ain't that about it? And that goes to what I was saying earlier. That women don't like each other.
I got a question for the panel. I got a question for the panel. So do y'all think the manosphere is like the male version of feminism?
No. I'll let y'all go first.
I mean, I don't even be in the girls taking care, so I'm not even gonna bother with that.
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh, go ahead, Rush.
The red pill content is based on the harsh truth of reality. It's not women is not the focal point of that movement. I mean, it just so happens it looks like it, you know.
I mean, plus you gotta think about it. If you say, okay, what is feminism, right? And you say it's because to give women rights and all this other stuff. I mean, technically, men already had theirs, so it's like, what's the reflection of that? So
I agree. Cause I just hear a woman saying that's the version of feminism. It's the male version of feminism. That's all.
No, I think I don't think it is, man, because I think at the end of the day, I think people got their own like points that they would kind of stand by. But one thing I see that men are willing to do is like challenge them. Like even on this panel, we'll give each other pushback. You know what I'm saying? And we're open to that feedback and stuff. Because there was been times I've been on panels and somebody came in with a good perspective. I'm like, damn, I didn't see it from that point of view. Like, okay, I was wrong and stuff. So we're willing to like have them like debate, challenge each other. And we've been doing that. So I think when you're open to like different perspectives, it's not the same. Because I think theirs is a little more like closed off, I would say.
Like famous, I'll say this, right? Like, let's say hypothetically, right? You say like in feminism amongst women, right? Because that's the women's territory.
Yeah.
You say like they going at war with each other because like some parts of feminism are doing OnlyFans or street work, sex work stuff, and then the other side of feminism is trying to be more professional and all that. I can see it like that. If you say like if it's like that in a sense, then I could say it like that, yeah. Because at the same time, in a sense, pretty much what men are trying to do is make men better. They're not trying to bring like, oh, we can't be for this low standard shit no more. Like we gotta be high class standard, right?
I agree.
It's not really. It's like get your own way at any means necessary. You know,
One last thing. I think the other thing that women don't give us credit for, because you could take a guy that's a piece of shit player, done wreck some homes, and he'll go to a female and be like, nah, don't fuck with the prototype of me. Like, because I seen guys that would do that. Like if they have a daughter, like, don't mess with no guy like me and stuff. And I think sometimes women are unwilling to do that. Because like if it hits too close to home, they'll be like, well, that's not that bad. They'll like, you know, nah, you gotta give them some grace. The guys are like, don't mess with no guy like me. Like,
women, they never.
So I think men are more willing to give the truth, even if they are not presented as that person that's like have some honor, some dignity and stuff. They'll be like, don't fuck with no guy like me. I'm broke. if it's
Yeah,
like
'cause
somebody
men-
close to him.
Men most likely to hold themselves accountable. Like when you meet a woman, they never did nothing wrong with their last relationship. Like I can admit that I messed up with some good women in the past. A woman would never admit that.
Yeah, so that's why I think the movements are a little different. Like, even though like they could be like, hey, I think that point is dumb, we'll challenge it. And like you said, there's still a level of accountability where guys be like, yeah, you know what? I did fuck that up. You know?
Yeah. I think a lot of women misinterpret the content though, the red pill content, because they say we hate women and all types of stuff when we preach that, but that's all I was saying. Because they misinterpret it.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, gentlemen, there are other content creators out there who is a misrepresentation of the movement.
Yeah.
Let's be honest with it. Let's keep it a buck. Cause I done seen them. They out there, they saying some wild stuff for real. They don't have nothing to do with the movement whatsoever, bro.
They radicalized.
And also the manosphere, the red pill, and all the man movement, it's always about empowering each other to be men so we could function. I tell people this all the time that if you want to summarize all these movements, it boils down to stoicism, period. That is what it is. Stoicism for men. That's what it is. Stoicism for men, teaching men how to be men. Period. That's what it is. It don't have nothing to do with going against women, but it do acknowledge that you have to look out for a certain type of behavior of women so you know how to navigate it. You know what I mean? Not to hate on them, but navigate it. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It also teaches that if this is your choice, if you want to make the choice to go out and talk to these said women after we even told you not to go after them, you want to make the choice to do it, by all means, you're free to do it, but you have to learn the consequences behind your actions too. That's what it teaches. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Versus feminism. Feminism is a direct resort from the patriarchal system. That's what it is. That's all it is, and that's all it ever will be. Feminism is not no empowerment movement. It's nothing really empowerment that women get out of feminism, other than there are certain rights, you know what I'm saying, which is the right to vote and different things like that. But that's it. This modern day feminism is not empowering at all. All it is that it's like the movement is competing against us. That's ultimately what it boils down to. They're competing against everything that men are doing. They want to be so bad, equal, or now in this movement, they want to be over the man. Now they want to be so empowered. They want to be over the dude, where they can tell the dude what to do, how to run a household, and do all this stuff that's counterproductive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the manosphere just for men to have a better understanding with women, because a lot of men don't understand women at all.
That's true. That is true. Rush, I thought you was frozen for a second there, bro.
You think Rush doing the mannequin challenge?
Yo, my bad, man. I got crazy texts coming in. My bad, bro. Y'all cooking though.
Rush getting that bread over there. But no, I like I said, anytime, I don't care who it is, man. I like the fact that people are having the discussions and points are getting challenged. People are willing to step into space. And that's why I like it. Because, I mean, I'm not no red pill. I'm not attached to any movement. But, I do come in there, chop it up with guys. Because at the end of the day, man, I just see people as like, I see us all as men that's trying to learn in some capacity. Some people, they got a better understanding than others. So it's like, man, let's get in here, share this information. Let's challenge some bad stuff. So like the live we had yesterday, man, we were going in on the guys as far as like them maneuvering off of lust and fucking up their legacies and stuff. So I think there's more good stuff. I think people are expounding on conversations and giving pushback on the futures, Nick Cannons, those dudes that are just moving out here reckless and stuff. So that's happening also. Women don't hear that part of the conversation.
I just want men to stop simping.
Yeah, sophisticated. I believe that you are attached to it, right? The red pill and all this stuff, right? But the only difference is that you don't treat it as religion or being religious with it. You know what I'm saying? That's the only difference. All of us is attached to it one way or the other. Now, I not like me myself. I don't acknowledge that I'm actually a red pill dude or a manosphere dude, but I am attached to it due to the teachings that it teaches me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not religious with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this is I got to pray to manosphere and all this weird shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got you. Yeah. Now, the reason I kind of always, because when I first came into space, Russ would tell you I was giving them boys smoke, but I would say I wasn't attached to it because some of the stuff that they, I'll say red pill more or less, like there's a lot of truth in it, but I think it was for like guys that are just trying to figure things out. So where I was trying to explain to people, I was like, I think a lot of us guys like on the panel and stuff, I wouldn't consider us red pill. I think we're just knowledgeable guys that have some intellect and stuff like that. Because, you know, the people that they allowed to be on the forefront of that movement, that's why I was just telling them, I'm like, man, these dudes don't practice what they preach. And I think as a man, you know, you got to walk in line what you kind of tell people. So it's like, if you're sitting out here, oh, we need to be disciplined, and you out here flying chicks out from China like fresh, you know, you kind of poisoning the well and stuff. And I think guys, man, we got to be able to kick dudes out the groups, man, that don't align with the principles, man. If not, then we just as guilty as them. We're accepting that bad behavior, man. And
Because back then, when I remember when I got around these conversations, and there's some goofies going around saying that, you know, they're part of the movement and everything else, and that's why I'm like, but they was doing certain things. I'm like, they ain't no gatekeeper when it comes to this. I'm like, y'all just let anyone just join just because of whatever. I'm like, that's the thing. It's like, this is where it comes weeby when people start saying this or this or this or that, and they're like, well, wait a minute, that's not what it is. Well, you letting these doofuses say that they is, and they doing this. Next thing you know, people think it is, because everyone finds somebody in a moment's glance, right? It could be anybody. You could be like, oh, I found red pill because of this person, that person, however he taught you whatever red pill is. And next thing you know, it's like that's what you gravitate towards, and then boom, you get caught up, and that's what people think it is, and it ain't.
And just one more thing, because I think men got to be careful with like the name and the movements, because like I think a lot of times people do have a sheep mentality, and it's just like whenever they slap a group or a label on themselves, say like if they're like, hey, I'm black pill, whatever. It's like they only want to receive information for somebody that got that same label. So instead of be like, hey, man, Urban is a knowledgeable guy, man. He got all this intellect. Let's chop it up. Is he in this movement? So that's why I think the danger sometimes comes with labeling and everything. That's why I'm like, you know what? We just knowledgeable guys kicking it, man. And we willing to give some pushback and learn from each other. That's we don't need to name shit. Just keep it simplistic like that, so it don't start having these silos and stuff.
Yeah, we all got individual thought. Like that's good about it. Like I don't put a title on me. You know, we just like-minded. That's why we agree on a lot of stuff. But I don't really call myself a red pill guy or none of that stuff.
Hey, gentlemen, I think it's fair for me at this point of the conversation to share y'all my story when I went through my divorce. You know what I'm saying? When I went through my divorce and it got finalized, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, gentlemen. That was like the worst day of my life. That was the worst thing I ever experienced in my life. Then going through that process, bro, dealing with that, being disconnected from my children, it was difficult, very difficult. It did sent me into a very, very place that I never thought I would be in a very dark place. You know what I'm saying? So at that time, I was looking for some type of solution, some type of way out, some type of knowledge, wisdom, whatever, to help me. You know what I'm saying? To figure out things. That's when I started, turning it into YouTube and all the stuff, and I learned about the manosphere and the red pill content. Cool. So far, it's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is who you be connected to within them spaces. If you listen to people like Myron and dealing with the situation I deal with, it is very easy, as you said earlier, to be a sheep. You know what I'm saying? Very easy to follow, because at that point, you're emotionally vulnerable to that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you're emotionally vulnerable to that. You're getting all this information instead of you learning that you need to hold yourself accountable to make yourself a better person. You sit up here, you're right. Women should this, blah, blah, blah. And you end up developing that attitude, that characteristic. And now it became corrupted. You became corrupted. The whole movie become corrupted. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Now I agree with you guys on that, for real. That you don't need to acknowledge or follow a said movement, but you can get information out of it to make you be a better person. You know what I'm saying? It's knowledge and wisdom is knowledge and wisdom, period. No matter where you get it from, but it's how the way you obtain it. You know what I'm saying? And here's another thing too. Y'all kind of hit on to this too. Not all wisdom and knowledge is going to be great knowledge and wisdom for your situation. Let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying earlier about Fresh and Fish and all them. The information I was getting, it made me get into a darker place where I started hating women. You know what I'm saying? At one point in time. And there are men out there who fall into that trap where they start literally hating women because of what the woman did to them, instead of acknowledging that, hey, man, this was literally my fault. I'm the one who chose this woman. I'm the one who chose to be in this relationship. I knew how the way she is, and I thought I could change her, and I failed at it.
Yep, that's why I blame myself. When I knew my baby mother was the Antichrist, I'm not mad at her. I'm mad at myself for choosing her.
Yeah, you hold yourself accountable, bro. You hold yourself accountable.
As a man, everything you do is your fault. You gotta think like that.
That's true. That's why.
That's part of us being a man too. We are built to carry that cross, bro. We're built for that. At least we're supposed to be.
I wear this now every day because my baby mother.
But that's a representation of carrying that cross, bro. Literally.
But Urban, so like I like how you left it. You like, man, you came in here, you saw some stuff, but you left your mind open to like even start noticing things, and that's all I'm saying. Because like you said, there's truth in everything, but it's just like I see a lot of guys like because they're getting the cash. They're like, oh, I'm the only person you should get the source of information from. I'm like, no, man, like. Get information from everybody, because like, hey, you might be able to pull something from Rush, pull something from Famous, pull something from Wally, pull something from Urban, pull something from me, and you could make a hybrid type of situation and me winning. Yeah. So that's why I want guys to like don't silo yourself, man. Get information from everybody, man.
Yep, exactly. That's what it took for me to do. When I just stop looking at this one dynamic and start looking at everybody and start just getting information, that's what made me a better man, like no lie. And my thirst and hunger for knowledge, my thirst for hunger to allow myself to be taught too, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, you can't be a sheep to one ideology.
Yeah, the fact that you're genuine with it, man, and you're able to like even put your information out there, even though everything might not always put us in a favorable light. You know how men always want to be like, oh, I never had a bad experience. I dated nothing but 10s. The jerk had some big girls. so it's being authentic. Hey, I just like some dragons. Some 2s in the mix.
People ain't trying to be authentic out here.
So I'm just never gonna lie, and I think, man, that's good that more guys could just be honest. It's like, man, I ain't had no goddamn 10s my whole goddamn life.
Yeah, you got to be transparent for somebody to learn.
Exactly.
Facts.
And even Rush, man, Rush is a very knowledgeable guy. He breaks stuff. So even though he got that work from Lucky, man, I mean, he's still somebody you should tune into. He's over there getting the Mickey D's. He get the McRib over there, the 10-piece nugget.
Rush was really nice. He was a gentleman.
Yeah, he was, man. I was looking at Rush. I like, Rush, what the hell? I like, man, you let a Lucky cookie on your own show, bro.
But it's all good, Rush. You got good spirit, though, man. You bounce back from that. How was it, though? Like, did you feel like you took the L in that one? Let's interview Rush now. Put Rush in the middle. Put him in the box.
Put him in the hot seat.
Nah. I ain't take no L. I mean, it's just, I gave her space to, express herself, man. That's why it was an organic conversation. I mean.
Okay, so that's what we're calling L's now, space.
That's the safe word. So I got a question for you, Rush. Did you watch Lucky reaction to the show? And how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. I actually was watching it while I was at work. What my thoughts on it? There was a few simps, cheering her on and putting me, like talking crazy about me. But overall, even the simps in her joint that was bigging her up and throwing me under the bus, they didn't have a problem with what I was saying. They actually agreed with what I was telling them. So that's how you know what niggas, telling the truth, man. But go ahead, Urban, man.
Yeah. Well, I watched that whole show too, and the biggest takeaway I got from it, of course, was some simps there. I don't know why dudes like to be thirsty over women, whatever. But the biggest takeaway that a lot of them was saying about you, Rush, is that they believe that you wasn't fully articulating the red pill ideology or the red pill movement, so she can understand it. But at the same time, I'm gonna call bullshit on Lucky because she was sitting up her while she was on the show, she was sitting up her pretending that she didn't know what red pill content is. That's bullshit. Because she talk about it all the time, either directly or indirectly, or she be having panel episodes where they be literally talking about this. You know what I'm saying? So I call bullshit on that. But yeah, that's the number one thing that a lot of people were saying that, hey, Rush, he does not articulate it to the best of his ability, but it's okay. Then they were saying things like, well, Rush was sitting up here starstruck over Lucky. He was looking at a beautiful woman, and this probably be his first
Rush
time he
was out
had
here
a beautiful
simping.
woman.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, simple like ain't nothing. We had a beautiful woman on this. I'm just
Rush
saying
was up here mesmerized.
I gotta say something. Nah, man.
That's simply what they said.
Rush was
But
like, let me put on
we
this
know
cape.
you done interviewed beautiful women before, bro. But this is what they were saying. This probably his first time interviewing a beautiful woman, and he stuttering. He can't contain himself, and but we know that. We know you interview different women, bro, for real.
Oh,
Yeah, like I was saying, it was like what you're talking about is mostly the simps that was saying all that. So they totally understand what I was talking about. Now, I mean, yeah, maybe I was a bit lazy to break down the science of the red pill joint, but I knew she already knew about that. So me breaking in the whole me getting into more intricate details on that, I feel like it was kind of like messed up on her end. Like she should have been like engaging with the conversation, not fronting like she didn't know what was going on. That's why a lot of the people that were saying that on her channel, they don't be on my joint, so they don't really know how I really move in this whole content space. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, because you're right. Because like when it came to the Russell Wilson stuff, because I saw some of the guys pull up on her thing and they gave some stuff, but I would just say, man, even though you might be irritated sometimes, because like you said, it's like, man, we all know the dynamic of the Russell Wilson. You just, even if I know somebody's being disingenuous, I'm gonna give the breakdown so nobody could like leave that situation like, oh damn, Jerk done cooked this shit up. So yeah, I would just say moving in the future, even though you might not want to give that breakdown, because I know you can. Like I seen you on stuff, and like you were spot on with the Russell Wilson being a simp. I don't give a damn what anybody say. Y'all call me lame all day. That motherfucker is a simp. I don't care how much money he has. I don't give a damn how bad Ciara is. She could never talk to me. If you just looking at the behavior and the interactions and the dude she tied herself to, yes, it's simp behavior. I don't need to expound on that anymore. So I just think you got to be at the ready though. If you're doing interviews, just, so nobody can misinterpret like how you coming off and stuff.
And being on the outside looking in, it looked like her attitude threw Rush off a little bit too. Her acting like she didn't want to be there or something like that. I think it threw Rush off a little bit.
Hey, Rush. I
want to say it through. Go ahead, Urban.
I think that instead of using Russell in that situation, because anytime you use Russell, females automatically resort to that pushback to my it ain't your business. You probably should use what's that comedian name, Akash Sin, and his wife. The situation that he going on with his wife. Yeah, he should have used him instead. That would have been a real good conversation right there.
But I think didn't she bring up Russell though? She brought up Russell.
She's the one who brought up Russell.
Yeah, she brought it up.
Bring that up. I didn't want to go there like that. I mean, but she brought it there off like rep. Like she went for the gusto off jump. So I was like, all right, whatever,
She had bad energy though.
Yeah, I could agree to that. It is. I was thinking about this too.
It was pretty dark, but yeah, I agree with you on that, fam. You know what I mean? But it didn't throw me off. It's just that, okay, I was like, okay, it's going to be like that, whatever.
Not really throw you off. Let's make you like a little uncomfortable because her attitude, her energy was off. So, your energy is not going to be right too because you talking to her. So that's all I'm saying.
Y'all know how y'all know how sometimes when a person start becoming big as a content creator, they believe that they're better than them or they're better
Oh
than
yeah,
the conversation.
that's what I
And
got.
that's what I honestly believe. That's where her energy was at. She believed that I'm better than this. I'm better than this conversation, and I got more subscribers. Whatever. She probably looked at his subscriber count and like, well, I got more subscriber count, so this is the beneath me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna entertain it, you know what I'm saying, for the sake of maybe she's connected with chaotic, you know what I'm saying, and she like, well, I just entertain it for chaotic because I'm cool with chaotic, you know.
That's what I was telling Rush. What's the point of having soldiers when you can't use them?
Fame try to go to war. Man, I don't think it was a subscriber because I seen her go and bless other channels and she'll come through and have the conversation. I honestly think, man, she was probably burnt out with some of the topics, but that's where it's just like I would say for her on her end, it's like, man, ask what you're gonna talk about, you know, because it's just like if you don't want to have those conversations, don't go show up with your energy off. Because I mean, if I'm going somewhere, I don't care what you throw at me. We gonna have the conversation. I'm gonna try to have my energy up, and I'm not gonna go back and do a review on that and put that person in a light if they invited me to their space, unless they went over extreme, then I might say something. But I think sometimes you just gotta move on and let things be. You know what I'm saying? Because I think sometimes you could misread something. Because I don't think you was like trying to set her up. I think you just a jokeful guy, man. You know how to have fun and ask different topics.
I'm glad you said that, Jerk, because I had no idea she had a kid and she wasn't getting along with her baby dad. Like, if I knew that,
okay. So maybe she thought you was taking some personal shot. Okay.
I would have even went there in the first place. Know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, asking those type of questions. Know what I mean?
She probably was arguing with him before the interview.
No, because when you started off, you was like, "Hey, man, you did this. You're professional." So y'all was vibing and stuff. It's when y'all got to the Russell Wilson. So yeah, maybe it was the personalized. Like she probably thought you was throwing a shot and stuff. Then
she probably was going through something. Makes sense. Recently, that's why she probably was going through something. But I agree with Urban. I think she just had a nose in the air.
Y'all ain't give. She was like, fuck. She was like, look at Rush over here. This nigga got Mickey D's. He got me over here.
Sophisticated. The reason why I'm throwing this out here, bro, is because prior before, we came on live to this show, right? I was watching the Nanika show, and guess who's on there? Lucky. And guess what? Her energy is totally different on this show versus how she was with Rush. So that's the only reason why I'm just throwing it out there, because Nanika is way bigger than her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm throwing it out there, bro. So it may be true, may not be true, but
Rush, would you be willing to do another conversation? Would you be willing to have another conversation with her, or like a structured around it? Because man, I think it could go somewhere. I think people, man, need to build. So hopefully there ain't no bad blood or nothing like that.
There shouldn't be.
No. There's no bad blood on my end. Like, I'm open to. I told her, yo, come back. I'll be having panels and stuff like that, so we could, start streaming like on a regular. But I kind of feel where Fame and Urban is saying, like, yeah, maybe she do look at me as, not as a big content creator, and like, yo, it's cool. You know what I mean? Like if you go on this catalog right here, you can see all the big names I've interviewed. Like, Lucky's not the, she's doing her thing, but she's not close.
Yeah, you got some solid interviews. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But you can't let her think that though. You still gotta stand your ground. Like, it ain't like that.
No, yo, like I said, man, like, yo, she's still welcome to come over here. We could chop it up, know what I mean? But if that's how she feels and she don't want to rock with me, yo, it's cool, know what I mean?
Yep, there's plenty of Luckies out there, bro. So I'm just saying, no biggie, no worries.
Yeah, plenty of Luckies, only one Rush, right?
Brody's ball, man, the one and only Russel Mundo out here chasing that ball, yo, you heard?
Nah, but this was definitely, I think it was a good discussion, man. I think that's why I said there was a lot of good topics that y'all even had off of that it could open up to other conversations. So that's why I think instead of people overreacting sometimes, it's like, nah, there's a lot that was said in that conversation that y'all kind of both was cooking on, and let's expound on that, man. It's not wasted material. I think that's why I at the end I was like, man, I think it was a good conversation because some of the stuff y'all touched on was definitely solid material. Because like even when she was talking about the people working together and compounding, I do want to have that conversation because I think finances is where people there needs to be some focus on that. So there were some gems y'all was dropping in there, man.
Isn't the finances the reason why most marriages go to divorce?
Yeah, that's like one of the major
reason,
things.
Right? Yeah,
I think dad and kids. Yeah, I think it's finances and kids a lot of times. Like after people have their children and the parenting dynamic comes in, yeah, that's when a lot of divorces. You see a lot of people break up.
Yeah.
But shout out to you, Rush, man. Thanks for letting us review that, man. And that, like I said, shout out to you for even reaching out to people and setting up interviews and stuff like that, man. That's a big thing, man.
Yeah, Russ is a hustler, man.
Yo, word. I guess I covered everything, so I guess we could get everybody's last thoughts so we could pill out.
I think it's a great conversation. We need to keep it up, be consistent, keep having these conversations, help us simp out, put these simps on the island, really. But it's a great conversation. Thanks for having me, Rush. Thanks, Sophisticated Jerk, Wally, Urban. It's been a pleasure always.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Again, thanks for having me, Rush, man. Like I said, I think it was a good topic, man. I think any situation could open up and we could break it down and, give different perspectives and some pushback and still have good faith, man, good spirit. I like the dynamic over here, man, because we clown each other. We crack jokes, man. Ain't no like extra macho stuff, man. We just have a good time, man. And I think people need to look at it for that, and that's why I kind of wanted to do this because I think some people were getting a misinterpretation of you. It's like, nah, Rush is a solid guy that invites everybody over here. He knows how to take some jokes, man. We clown and stuff, have fun, man. And nobody take it personal, man. And I appreciate you for, having a panels that way because you be seeing some stuff, man. People be like, I'm going to fly out to see you. I'm going to kill you, nigga. You be seeing some shit like that. I'm like, nah, I like the vibe, man.
I just saw him with the boy Cooley, and somebody else. Them cats be like, they be taking this stuff too personal. And I'm like, nah, man, Rush be having some stuff where we could vibe out and stuff. So I think if Lucky looked at your stuff, man, I think she would be like, oh, okay. I think she was just on like alert because she mentioned like, oh, I'm in chaotic land. And so I think it was like, somebody go on like a crypt territory. They looking out. So I think she kind of had her guard up a little bit. But it's like, nah, we ain't like that. Nah, because I was like giving her a lot of kudos. I was like, nah, she's right on this point. So yeah, I just think she was kind of on alert too. And a lot of women eternalize stuff. So when he touched on the Russell Wilson and Ciara being a single mother thing, that probably touched her,
Yeah. But nah, great conversation, and shout out to Urban again for just being transparent, man. Because I think you was dropping some stuff like I never had that experience. So shout out to you for just even breaking it down from that dynamic.
Yeah, appreciate it, gentlemen. I appreciate y'all listening as well too. I learned a lot from y'all gentlemen as well too. Don't get it twisted, and that's what it's all about. But before we end the show, I want to get y'all opinion about something. Y'all perspective about something, all right? So, what made me thought about this is what you say earlier, Sophisticated, about going on to other panels and stuff, right, and having a conversation and stuff, right? So there was certain content creator who on panel I was going back and forth on and stuff, right, and they they believe in the same dynamics about men empowerment and different things like that, right? So he wanted me to react to one of his shows that he did, right? And so I reacted to it, and it was a part of the show where he was talking about his personal relationship. He was saying that he was no longer with the mother of his children. In this particular situation, he wasn't with his mother of his children, right? But the mother of his children was dating this other dude at the moment, right? So he was telling his audience is that, yeah, I believe that that the man who's taking care of, you know what I'm saying, the mother of my children, that it's his responsibility to take care of my children. And then he even went further to say that I even went over there one day and literally charged up this dude and told him that, yeah, you need to step up and be a man towards, the one, the mother of my children, blah, 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 and all that stuff there, right? So I listened to that, right? I'm like, bro, you are out of pocket on that. I'm like, how the hell are you going to tell a man to step up and raise your children? That don't have nothing to do with that, man. That dude purpose of being there is to smash the mother of your children. That's it. That is his purpose. That is his only. He don't have no purpose other than doing that. Now, if he choose to, do things for the children, that is absolutely his choice. But you can't sit up there and go and demand a man to do something when that's you and your mother, your children's responsibility to do that. The dude got upset about that, because I literally told him about that. And I told him, yeah, that's some simple behavior, bro. In a way, it is.
Yeah.
Then I also told, like, man, it also seemed like that at the time, you was still in love with the mother of your children. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that when I did a reaction to it. This dude got upset. We no longer chilling and nothing like that because I said it, but it was a reaction. I was just reacting to what he was saying. So I want to just get y'all perspective on that. Do y'all believe that I was out of pocket by reacting to it that way, that I just should have just, like, well, whatever. Doesn't say nothing, or what would y'all think?
I don't think so. I think if he told you to react, he want the truth, then you was absolutely right.
Yeah, just based on what you said, I definitely got to watch this video. But you was spot on, because yeah, whenever you step in that dynamic, like, you're still them kids' father, and I'm trying to give you some respect. Like what you're saying, like, nah, man, I'm here to drop off free dick. Like, those are your kids. I'm not. Hey, I will buy some stuff here and there just to be a good person, but nah, that's your responsibility, playboy. Like, yeah, you a simp if you want me to come in here and step it up and all that. Do I get to claim you on my taxes now? Shit, since you want to be a dependent also. So yeah, nah, you was spot on with that.
Yep. Yeah. Then I went even further with that, right? Because once again, I'm a man with experience, man. I've dealt with situations similar to this in my personal life. So during my after when I was divorced, right? My ex-wife, she was dating this dude. She was pillow talking to this dude because at that time she still, had bad feelings about me, bad vibes about me, and she was pillow talking to this dude about me. So this dude made it up in his mind that he's going to be a better man than me, which I was always a better man, for us, the children and stuff. But our relationship just failed. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he made it up in his mind that he was going to be a better man, not only for her, but for the children. And so he started going through this whole conquest, trying to be a better father, doing weird stuff, you know what I'm saying? And she'll literally orchestrate this thing where this dude would, it got so bad where we had to meet up at a police station, bro, where this dude should show up with this dude with our children. This dude would get out the car, start talking crazy to me and stuff about our children. You know what I'm saying? It don't have nothing to do with him. But he felt like he was obligated to do that. So I had to explain that too. Like, bro, the reason why I'm saying that is because that's a dangerous situation, because some of them dudes become so unhinged and so protected that they'll literally unalive not only the child father, but you as well too. So yeah, you was out of pocket on that. You should never told that dude that, because it could have went a totally different situation that was good.
Yeah, I remember we had this discussion last time you was on the panel, Urban, and my I'm dealing with the same situation.
Let me chime in real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let me chime in real quick. First of all, I want to say, Urban, you did nothing wrong. He asked for it. You did what you were supposed to do. In that particular situation, a lot of times the woman will create friction between the baby daddy and the current boyfriend. That's why I say never play cleanup, because it's really a trap. Whenever you in the world of the baby mother, she will create chaos for you to go through. You know what I mean? Whether if it's a shit test or whatever. You got to stay sucker free and don't play cleanup, man. It's not wise, man. Because I could see this like clear as day. Shorty probably said something to her baby daddy, right? And then show something to her current boyfriend that's using her for a cum dumpster and creating that friction between the both of them. This is what they do on the regular. That's why you should never play cleanup, you heard? But you did nothing wrong, Urban. My bad, Fink. Go ahead.
Keep
No,
going.
I was saying responding to Urban. I had to say we talked about this on the last panel we was on together, Urban, and I was in the same situation. My baby mom got a stud daddy, and she's trying to push me out the picture so she can be the father.
But let me, if I could just say one last thing, man, and this is why I think these conversations are critical, and like y'all that have experiences and y'all willing to share, man. Like Rush said, man, this could end up saving people's lives, man, breaking down these dynamics, because even though I talk calm and stuff, if I was in a dynamic like that, man, I could see myself escalating. So that's why, like, a lot of women, they don't understand. It's like, man, guys are trying to avoid these situations because we're talking to enough guys that have bad experiences. So it's just like it's almost like they want you to unhear and unsee different experiences that people go through. And it's just like,
let me
nah,
give you
man.
a
Like,
testimony real quick, Jerk. My bad for interjection.
no, you could go ahead.
Interjecting so abruptly, but I gotta say this, right? I was dealing with this bird, and I knew she was a bird. Now, I mean, this was many years ago.
What kind of bird?
Yeah, give us the level.
We need to know the level of bird.
She was a low hanging fruit chick, but she was just a regular bird, not a pigeon or a pterodactyl, a regular bird.
A rooster.
Yeah, chicken head. So you know, I was dealing with her, whatever, right? But my man's was smashing too.
Oh wow!
And fast forward, she got a baby daddy. You know what I mean? And yo, my man, she was starting to like. You know what I mean? He starting to like Shorty, whatever. Fast forward, right? Shorty lined them up to get body. Know what I mean?
That's crazy.
She told her baby daddy a lie. Nigga came back, got the drop where he was at. The nigga gave him a headshot. But he's still he's still alive though. Know what I mean? I say this to say never play cleanup because it's really a dangerous game, man. Know what I mean?
Yeah, y'all messing with hood coochie out there.
Yeah. And you gotta stay away from women that they sense too. Women that they
Rushing to rolling the dice with their life. Fuck that.
Yeah. But this is a reality though, bro. These are different situations that men be dealing with. Just like you say, sophisticated. These are the conversations that we need to be having, giving you the reason why we say what we say. We're not saying it just because we're content creators. We're just trying to get clout off of it. We're literally having these experiences like all the time. These dudes having these experiences for real, bro.
Not for sure. But to me, no, I think you didn't do nothing wrong, Urban. My only thing though is like, as far as like just hearing that situation, like he wanted you to review the whole video, or like there was a subsection to that video.
No, the whole show. He wanted me to react to the whole entire show, and that's what I was doing. I was reacting to the whole entire show, and I was reacting to everything. And their show was panel. It was panel just like ours, and I react to everything that they were saying. I was stopping the video like, I agree with this. And I was like, no, I don't agree with that. And then we got to that particular section of stuff. I believe that particular part was really, really personal to him, but he was sharing it because he got really deep into it. Then, of course, the women on the panel, they was agreeing. They was cheering him on like, yeah, you did the right thing. Blah, blah. I like, fuck no, he didn't do the right thing. No, you're wrong for that.
Because my only thing I would say, like, in difference is, like, if I, like, let's say I look, like, he told me to say, like, I was in your shoes, right? Like, he told me he wanted me to react to the video and everything like that. I'd have been like, all right, cool. I look at the video just to get what I'm dealing with, and I've been like, if I heard some stupid shit like he said, I've been like, I probably would have hit him up and been like, hey, look, I expect you enough to not even react to this, because I'm gonna tell you right now, you acting a fool. Like, I would have kept it behind the scenes and just told him straight up to himself, like straight to his face, like, this shit that you want me to react to, hell no. Because one, you this and that. Like, anything you said on the video publicly, I would have told them behind the scenes, because I'd have been like, hell no. But if you want me to go through this, I will, because at the end of the day, you're just gonna get embarrassed if I motherfucking stay this day.
I disagree, Wally. I think
no, but don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not, like, again, I'm saying, like, I don't know what the dynamic between him and Urban was. Like, I don't know like what the relationship is, but I'm saying, like, if it was what it is, supposedly, then go let it happen. But if it was like a different, like, if it's just some natural stuff, like some general shit, then you just gotta have to get the smoke. Because I ain't gonna lie though, if this is your line of thinking, I'm gonna sit your ass down somewhere, because personally, let's get real. You crazy based on the story. Like, that's crazy shit. Like, no.
Yeah, but Wally, he did. He hit me behind the scene. He hit me on IG and told me like, hey, bro, yo, I know you was busy, doing your thing, and I know you didn't catch the episode of the show. So go ahead and react to this show, this episode. I bet. And like normally, what would I do is that I normally will watch the episode before I actually react to it. In most cases, there'll be some cases where, I just do a straight reaction where I don't even know what's going to happen. But I learned my lesson of being a content creator behind it, because you don't never know what people are going to say. Sometimes people say stuff and get your channel demonetized. So I learned review early, you know what I'm saying? Because I do make money. Yeah, because I do make money on my channel, bro. So I learned to want to think about it as a business, thing, you know what I'm saying? So I looked at it and I watched it. I was like, okay, you should want me to react to this? Like, yo, bro, go react to it. All right.
Now, homie was a narcissist. He was like Urban. He was like, Urban gonna film this. That's why he was excited. He's like, let me call my homeboy Urban. Urban, but he gonna back me up.
Yeah, he gonna back me up.
G check.
I seen that. I seen that. Nope.
That's like when people ask me to listen to their music. I'm like, you sure? Because if your shit trash, I'm gonna tell you.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what happened. Other than that, like what Rod say, it kind of made me think about that, right? I like, well, maybe that's what I should have did. Maybe I should have reviewed it first, probably before going live. Then after I reviewed it, give them feedback on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, there's a certain part on here that I don't agree with. Well, you sure you want me to give you that smoke on it? All right, because if I'm gonna give you that smoke, I'm gonna be real with it. You know what I'm saying? If he agreed to that, then it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, because I would let them alone, because it's like, bro, because like that's what I'm saying. Like, don't get me wrong, because I do still believe like he still deserves the public smoke, because that shit was just out of line. Because if you allow other men to think that way and ride with you, fuck no, because you gotta take that back and be like,
But I think, man.
No.
The only reason I think sometimes you got to do stuff like that. So because I see what Wally's saying. Like if it's a real good friend or something, I'll pull you to the side. But what I kind of started noticing, man, when I'm giving people advice and stuff, you got to kind of be harsh sometimes. Because like we were talking about, you could end up saving somebody's life, because it sounds like this dude is overstepping them boundaries. And it's like that shit could get dangerous. So when you kind of broke it down and maybe he saw the seriousness and you give him pushback, it might have woke his ass up. So sometimes as men, we're hard-headed that we need that harshness. I don't know why and stuff, because sometimes you try to talk to people, you do it the right way and stuff, and they're like, they'll blow it off. So it's like, certain people, I got to give them that smoke, man.
Some people just want you to tell them. Some people just want you to tell them what they want to hear.
Yeah, facts. And so that brings to this point of it. Like I told y'all earlier, the women over there on his channel, that was 100% agreeing with him that what you did was correct. And then afterwards, when they seen that I reacted to it the way they did, guess who was telling him that it was wrong? The women. They said, "No, he's wrong. He blah 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 blah."
He said they jumped up quick.
This dude like using emotional intelligence and like, let me think about this, process this and stuff. Right? He agreed with the women. You know what I'm saying? And now it'll sever YouTube business relationship because of that. You know what I'm saying?
See?
And then that's what I'm saying.
And I don't have no problem with it, because at the end of the day, that's what it was. It was just a YouTube relationship. Because I believe in networking and stuff. Now I'm kind of questioning a little bit, because this is not the only time that this is going to happen where people be wanting me to give my honest opinion about something. Then they feel some type of way after when I say it. This is not the only time this is going to happen. And they done.
Oh, okay.
Being weird about it, what I mean?
So I think Wally probably got the right position there.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'll just sort of questioning like the idea of the relationship, because I don't know for sure. But then at the same time, it's like that's what I'm saying. Because granted, you saying it was a YouTube relationship, then you have the right to toast his ass and send his ass packing, because that's just out of pocket.
Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, Jim. How the way I am, this is how the way I am. Period. Russ could contest to this. Russ been.
I get that vibe.
Each other, Russ. We've been on each other since 2019 or something. So this is literally how I am.
We knew each other for some years now, man. Like I said before the pandemic, you know what I mean? Like we've been rocking for each other for a long time.
Yeah, I gotta check out that episode though. That definitely sounds good though, man.
Y'all let you know. A matter of fact, y'all could go to my IG page. I have it on IG. You can message me on there and stuff.
Okay, I definitely would. I'll add you in.
It's easy. It's Urban Lounge Podcast. You'll find it. You'll see my picture on there, bro.
But all right, Rush. I know you want to shut it down soon.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I didn't do my closing thoughts, bro. My bad, Rush. Hey,
Go ahead and do your closing thoughts, Urban. Go ahead.
Yo, gentlemen, I enjoyed the conversation, man. And I learned a lot from the conversation, and I, hope that we can continue to do this in the future, for real, man. Shout out to y'all, and y'all have a great holiday and be safe out there.
Yeah, you too.
Appreciate
man.
it.
Thanks again,
You
Rush,
too.
for having us up, man.
That's lit, y'all.
Yo, thanks for coming through, y'all. Jerk, you got any last words? Fame, Wale, or
Oh, you want me to give another closeout?
oh, you already
Peace
did.
to the family.
I mean, the only thing I'm gonna say is, bro, look, as always, man, good conversation. I mean, I know I didn't initially answer the first question, because I'm not gonna just say I don't care, but at least for the Russell Wilson question about is he a simp? Honestly, like for me, the reason why I say he is because when you think about when this relationship was brewing and everyone was talking about the Russell and Ciara thing, just his the idea visual of what his background is and who he at. Because for instance, people ask him if you even know who Ciara was, and he was like, no, because he never knew that he was even a singer. I'm like, how do you don't know? So it's just understand a little bit of that background and all that stuff, and then your character or who you are and how you move it. It's just you just dealing with something that's out of the range of what you already dealing with. So it's for me, that would say I say he's a simp in that sense. But other than that, bro, man, good conversation as always, man.
Yeah, it's a bunch of wise men. I hope everybody have a happy holiday. It's always a pleasure.
Word. Thank you guys so much for coming through. My last words would be listen, man, never play cleanup. Stay sucker free. These hoes don't love you. Bodie's born. And yeah, man, just stay sucker free, man. Don't I'm telling you, man, when you play cleanup, man, you playing in a dangerous game. Know what I mean? And that testimony I gave y'all, man, that's a real situation where she lied to her baby daddy, and the baby daddy came back and tried to clip the nigga. Thank God the nigga still living, but he caught one in the dome. Avoid dealing with these broads, man. That got
I got smoke for Rush now.
It's a dangerous. Know what I mean?
Why was y'all dealing with that that unruly hood rat?
It better been when you was young, Rush.
Yeah.
Shorty was looking right. You know what I mean? Shorty was looking right. But I know how to deal with these birds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My man's he don't really, you know what I mean? He fell in love. You know what I mean? But whatever.
Yeah,
but,
that's crazy though.
He
That's
almost lost his life, but crazy, man. Real situation though. True story. So don't play cleanup.
No, it's definitely true story, because you see that same story that you put out is the same story you'll see on freaking TV shows.
Yeah.
Y'all drop my channel, my IG in the back check, y'all.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
I put it in the chat, Urban. Hold on, give me a sec.
I'm subscribing right now.
Shout out to Rush and his homies though, man. Homegirl must have been right.
Yeah, y'all sharing girlfriends? That's crazy.
Those were them dudes that Bell Biv the Bow was talking about. Don't trust a big butt and smile. Oh, big butt trusting dudes.
I ain't gonna
lie though. If y'all were sharing, if y'all both fucking the same hoe, why the fuck did he got feelings for her though?
But bro,
I told him.
Bro, you be surprised, because in the past, me and my homies was doing that. We was sharing the chick.
Yeah.
And one of them ended up catching feelings because she smashed them the right way.
That's crazy. You remember that story I shared with you, Russell, about my homeboy, that everybody smashed, the whole team smashed, not me though. Even one of them smashed together, and he ended up wifing her. and he knows this.
Yeah, you got suckers out there that'll wife up a chick that's been ran through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
I
that's
mean,
why I say
like some
you
of these
never.
girls got trishes ran on them, and these niggas be knowing, and they still wife them up, man. You know what I mean? But
That's
yo,
why I
I
said
say
you can
say
never
this,
be
man.
friends with
Stay
them
sucker free.
either.
And what happened?
No, I said that's why you never. As I always say, you can't be friends with men that ain't good with women.
Yeah, I think some of y'all dudes need to get jail sentences.
Yeah, I think they need to put all simps on an island.
I think Rush and all his friends, man, they should serve at least like 3 years, mandatory 3 years.
Oh man, bro.
Nah, I'll mess with you, Rush.
Yeah, man. So just be careful out there, man. You can't trust these type of birds, man. Like, yo, like they're ruthless, man. You know what I mean? But enough about these birds, man. I'm getting ready to sign out. It's your boy Rush, aka Roamundo, out here chasing that boyo. You know what I mean? Seek wisdom, practice humility, and those remain sucker free. You heard? I'm out. One. Thanks y'all for
Peace.
coming through.
All right, peace.